And as the bell tolls, is there no redemption for us? Wake up, get out there. There's more to life than the way. If you live, you cannot stay. Why does nobody want change? Let your voices ring out, yeah. Take the mask off and be free. Find yourself in the debris. If you hold on life for change. Wake up, get up there. Raise your voice against liars. Feed your own fire. Why does nobody want change? Just imagine you're out there. Swatting lights in the making. Get no past without breaking. If you hold on life for change.
All right. Hello, everybody. Tricksters, Wildcards. Welcome to Ziodyne Top 8. I'm Commando, and I'm here with, the better half of the David duo.
Oh, please. But hello, everyone. Welcome in for day 2 of Ziodyne. As Commando mentioned, we've got our top 8 matches happening, and already some, a handful of upsets, a lot of crazy Puyo and Tetris performances that for those that were paying attention to some of the side streams may or may not have gotten to see. But we've got quite the opportunity presenting itself. Some unfortunate recent news we do have. I believe I got word Bingo, I think, has to drop out. So they will be going out at 5th place as a result of the DQ from winner's side, which I guess if you're going to DQ on top 8, you might as well do it from the winner's bracket so you get a couple more rounds in. But that will also guarantee Elio a spot in winners finals and a top 3 placing, potentially as the last Puyo standing.
That's true. I mean, honestly, I think we were discussing this before we went live, but there's actually a pretty fair balance of Puyo v Tetris here,
It's unfortunate that on the loser's side we've got Tetris v Tetris and Puyo v Puyo, so we can't have some of the mixed formats too early in our set. But it looks like we'll be starting with a Tetris v Tetris for our first match. We've got OSW versus Shark. Now, for some of you that may be more veterans to Tetrio, you may recognize Shark as another prominent Tetrio player. OSW as well in their own right. They've been doing really great recently. I saw they posted like a 9-11 set versus Vince, which for them is a crazy upgrade to some of the recent performances. But they're still just as formidable in the guideline scene as the Tetrio scene.
Yeah, Shark's been making a big name for themselves. It's like they've been showing up a lot. They've been kind of going through brackets very unexpectedly, sweeping a lot of big names in the past.
And especially from some of their earlier tournaments where people didn't realize exactly who they were as a player, they would get constantly underseeded, have to play top 3 seeds very early, and almost put it to within threat of an upset, which, against some of the players that they have encountered, is very, very impressive.
Yeah, indeed. And, OSW, kind of the big name.
I would definitely say, from the guideline scene, OSW is one of the few big names we do have that consistently shows their face in almost every single guideline event. Obviously, I think we would also expect to see Ziodyne, but she has decided to help host this wonderful event. So she's kind of taken more out on this one, but it's still, again, I would love to see another OSW Ziodyne sometime, perhaps in a future Ziodyne where some of the stream hosting things will be split among other individuals.
Yeah, and PPT too, like PPT.
It's all classic. It's I mean, not classic Tetris, but like especially for the modern scene. I don't want to call it all reliable, but it is definitely like all classic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of people are definitely used to. a lot of people are used to it probably more than maybe TEC, because you know PPT1 was a thing long before that. But I mean,
I guess yeah.
and,
We did
yeah.
PT1 and 2. I kind of forget that.
They
Just
are
see it as
they
one
are
game.
basically the same game, but not entirely. I'm saying that just to save myself because I know I will get in trouble if I say they are the same game.
I think Tetris functions the same, like Tetris versus Tetris. I do know Puyo balance within mixed versus. Not to
Yeah.
mention Swap as well. Swap also got reworked a ton.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Again,
was initially mentioning it for like online swap tournaments, like, oh, just run it in PPT1. Everyone's like, it's a different balanced thing. We can't do it.
Yeah, this is what I get for being like a filthy Tetris only player for a long time.
What's wrong with that? That's fine.
Well, the big problem is just you're not aware of the intricacies that happened in Puyo on the Puyo side, because the balancing is different.
I mean,
I'm starting to get used to it though.
Some of them are so minute that like if you didn't get told what the change was, like they would probably fly under the radar unless you're a top player. Like there being a speed difference between PPT2 and PPC from the Puyo perspective does not make sense to me. I play the games the same way, but there is actually a difference, and that's why some tournaments will run Puyo Puyo Champions instead.
I just like to be aware of the differences, just so I don't mess up commentary, you know.
Hold on, let me fill out a DM to someone. Let's see how many changes can we get in this. Please describe patch notes for.
I believe we are still waiting on Shark.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, we are.
I mean, granted, OSW as well is also a very eager player.
Yeah.
They will seek out any fight they can pick, regardless of regardless of which direction the mismatch is in. They're just looking for experience, and quite honestly, that kind of mindset I think is definitely what put them as one of the top Tetris players and Puyo players.
Oh yeah.
On the West.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because like I mean, OSW has been constantly like surprising a lot of people, especially like. Obviously, I know that a lot more on the Tetris end, because like I think every single year I've commentated at least one OSW match, and every single time he's like managed to surpass himself from last time, which is really like I don't know how to put that kind of consistency into words. It's both consistency and improvement, which is like, you know, like one of the best ways to just like get better at the game.
I'd say consistency is pretty good to have, especially in PPT.
Consistency
I
is
feel
key.
like, yeah, I think the first game where I started hearing like consistency being a really big factor, I think was actually Puyo Puyo Tetris, even over something like Tetrio or TEC players. I think consistent play I initially started hearing around the PPT side of things. That also might have been primarily just because of how opener play was so very regarded back to like the tail end of the 2010s. Mm-hmm. But maybe that's a little bit of my bias as well.
And OSW in chat saying that he's studying for a Spanish test. That's on Monday in between sets. I try to quiz you with Spanish, but if I do so, Ferox will come after me and scream at me, so I'm not gonna do that. But, looks like we're going to transition. Looks like game is ready.
Okay, so we've got OSW on left. Shark is going to be on the right. And
all
very
right.
late.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, maybe not. Okay, I think I missed it.
All right, there's it.
So Shark almost
Yeah.
went for the PC follow-up. OSW seemed to be building around that center well, knew that was what they were looking for.
Mm-hmm. Kind of working around the garbage that was given to him.
Yeah, and Shark has a lot of garbage. They're going to have to sacrifice an IP.
Ooh, yeah, and OSW with an STSD right off the bat. Quick start to the round.
Yeah, I definitely think for some reason, OSW's decision to stack up after that first T-spin triple was definitely the smart play. Mm-hmm. Shark was playing a little bit too greedy to start off, and it did not go terribly well for them.
Yeah, both players kind of going for the same opener there, but OSW going a little bit faster, kind of giving him the edge here.
Oh, counts to 4, gets the Tetris, is supposed to going for
Yep.
more combo-oriented play. Shark, meanwhile, having some really solid play as well, pretty high up the stack.
Yeah, just trying to squeeze out every little bit of efficiency you can. Because I mean, the amount of combo you could have gotten from that sort of situation. Okay, TSD tower. Speaking of efficiency. Yeah. Counting to 4 in that situation, I think, was better, though, because it allowed OSW to get a little, like, a lot more lines and, inevitably the win here in this round.
What happened in between that T-spin triple tower? I know Shark tanked it initially, but it seemed like they just shot up the board with garbage, and then OSW only needed 1 or 2 quick punches for the knockout blow.
Alright, we're gonna see how Shark manages here. Gets that T-spin double in. OSW... Oh, and then the perfect clear. OSW opted to not go for it at all there.
I mean, they kind of were in a really sticky spot to begin with once they had to take that PC. You can see them definitely trying to play a little bit careful around this. They've done a fantastic job mitigating every attack, ensuring they're able to find a way down. Oh, that's a...
Ooh, and Shark with the Elmis drop. That's not great. Still technically has an out, but it's going to be really dicey now. And OSW is just putting on too much pressure for Shark to be able to counter that.
Yeah, with the added line clear delay, that's basically kind of a staple for PPT gameplay. If you don't have your out planned pretty far in advance, it's very easy to get stuck with a couple of skins and lose most of your options. Looks like the
Shark here just opting for T-spins.
Oh, OSW got 1 in 10. They're gonna have to boomerang this. Nope, wait, nope, never mind. I misread. Forgive me. Oh, and they have a downstack combo. They're gonna get a Tetris afterwards. I don't think Shark is ready for it.
Yeah, Shark's just kind of catching the bad end of these attacks.
But notice
really trying.
We're 4 games in, and OSW really has only had like 1 really strong downstack that ended a round. They've been able to rely on their fundamentals really well.
Yeah. Ooh, and Shark was just a little bit too slow for that perfect clear, unfortunately.
I mean, the good news for them at the very least, they have a very nice stack to work with, but...
OSW's pressure is just relentless right now.
Wow, the PC!
Oh my goodness! Oh, that PC was dirty.
At first, I was going to be a little bit judgmental of Shark not trying to get that Tetris in time, but I don't even think that would have been able to save them from all of that garbage. I think we're getting that.
And OSW starting off with a very, very ballsy TST tower into...
Over the top of the MS. I think OSW is MS2ing. Shark could actually be going for Gamoshiro.
I need to brush up on that, honestly. Like, my knowledge is admittedly a bit lacking.
I specifically asked Wumbo to tell me the difference, because Wumbo usually prefers Gamoshiro over MS2. They told me the difference, and by the end of Snow is Infinite, I had forgotten. I believe it's just where the eyepiece goes is usually what I try to differentiate it. Which I guess in this case, maybe they're both using MS2. That's my... Okay, it looks like
there we go. Shark with the perfect clear. OSW with a bit of a dicey board.
Shark might be able to get DPC. It looks like they are.
Oh yeah, and there we go.
The DPC.
Shark finally. Shark getting a point on the board. OSW. I don't know if OSW was gunning for a sweep, but it's impossible now.
Alright, OSW opts for the T-spin single, misdrops the S, but not going to be...
That should be manageable this early on, especially for OSW.
Yeah,
nice S-spin to fix it up.
Intentionally going with the combo follow-up to keep that damage up. It's so much stronger in this game than some of the other, both guideline and non-guidelines.
Oh, and Shark opting to not spin the J piece there, and I think that benefited their stack a lot more in the situation. Oh,
they have a little bit of tricky garbage to try and clear out.
Ooh, and there's a lot coming in from OSW. Shark was stacking a little bit too much there.
And you can see as well with the double eyepiece in Q, that was a really late eyepiece. We're not able to clear out through the garbage. And even though a 7-chain may not sound very threatening, it can do quite a lot of damage if you're not prepared to send something off.
Alright, there's a C-spin from Shark.
So is he going to go for more combo play? Oh, I think they are.
They're hitting a combo. Yeah, there's a good combo from OSW. Nice 7.
Wow!
And there was a PC right there. Oh my goodness.
And just immediately 8-1. OSW literally needs one more win. Could finish this set in 10.
Yep.
Shark definitely has their work cut out for them. OSW intentionally waiting for that T-spin to happen. They're going to get the PC.
Oh, and then into the perfect clear. That definitely, I think that threw Shark off a little bit.
They have DPC, but notice Shark intentionally tanked so that way OSW was not able to get the perfect clear.
Yeah, and Shark now has a little bit of an out here. Still at the disadvantage with the board height.
Oh, the beautiful setup
slowly.
there from OSW. 2 T-spin doubles, reopens the well back up. Shark, though, still getting some very good T-spins themselves with some, not the kindest garbage, but really putting as much in as they can.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
there's not
look
a lot
at
of
this,
good spots
OSW
here.
just sending line after line after line. And
that
Shark's
probably didn't do it.
Shark's piece RNG is just not very kind to him at all. Oh my goodness. That was
very speedily. OSW is going to run away with things 9-1 with a commanding lead, and they show that they are eager to book their spot into winners finals and take on Elio to show that they're going to take that grand final spot from winners.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I think OSW kind of demonstrated how this game is like kind of his home turf.
I think the interesting thing as well to note about OSW's play, because one of the things I've started to consider, partially within TEC, but I'm trying to look for it as well when I commentate, is where players tend to stay relative to like height-wise to their board. You know, do you want to have a lot of ammunition on your board at all times? How much of that do you spend? When do you spend it? And I think OSW tends to upstack while their opponent just like isn't able to really get a lot of offense going. And they build up they're not like game-ending spikes of, 20 or 30, or especially for TEC, you'll see some really high number zone clears. But just being able to put your opponent on the back foot really early on, and then just run with the momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, I think PPT is like really weird with that sort of thing because of how garbage gets sent and whatnot.
Well, we're about to see a little bit more of this as a prime example. We've got Bunko Boy and Ringo Ando as our next match here. This will be our losers top 8, so winner will go out at 7th. And then because of the way the bracket pans out, I believe winner of this will get the bye that would have been against Bingo. So they should be in top 4 with a win in this set.
Yeah, this is kind of just a free, this is not necessarily free, but this is kind of just an easier entry into top 4, but I mean, still gotta win a match. And with how these players have been playing, it's not gonna be that easy.
I mean, but
very honored to have.
Regardless of which player wins, it will be an overperformance of seeding, which will be very impressive to see.
Yeah,
I mean,
indeed.
Bunko Boy, I used to kind of think was like still getting into the flow of things, but they've really put in a lot of effort to improving both in Puyo and in Tetris specifically. And they've been able to take some really good sets with top players.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if Ringo has it in their bag, able to sufficiently try and counter the Bunko Boy matchup.
Really honored to have Ringo in the tournament. Like,
yeah, I believe they were. I believe they were studying for their calculus final. Mid sets, kind of similar to how OSW's taken that Spanish studying on the go. So very fortunate that we have some multitasking players. Oh, that's a bit rough on the eyepiece.
Ooh, good T-spin donation from Ringo there.
It does get that dono. Not able to get a T-spin double, unfortunately. Greeds for one on top of the
That is very greedy, yeah.
But to be completely honest, both players have a lot of cheesy garbage. Even if they manage to get down to their wells, it's not really too great.
Yeah, they have a lot of down stacking to do, but I mean, a lot of these players. I mean, these players are very familiar with how
And another
PBT
T-spin
garbage is
single
sometimes.
from Ringo. Oh,
Ooh, Ringo-
still greeting for the T-spin double, but Bunko Boy has access
that
to clean
S
garbage.
almost ended the round.
Oh, Ringo's playing such good defense. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
gonna be enough.
this
They have to
defense is
find
very
out.
impressive, but I mean, ooh, ah.
The fact that Ringo was playing defense for that long, and it took Bunko Boy
Yeah,
to
no, that was
garbage.
really good
It was
survival.
Crazy
Really
back
good
and
survival.
forth. And to be completely honest, I don't think we've seen incredibly strong defensive play yet on stream.
Ooh, and there's a perfect
wow,
clear.
immediately turning on the Jets in opposition to the last game, going for some offense. We can see Bunko Boy now trying to play a little bit more cleverly with the defensive style.
Mm-hmm.
Having more garbage on the field, they know they have to take things a little bit slower.
Yeah. Both players about even in terms of board height.
Another T-spin
Bunko
single
Boy,
from Ringo?
yeah, Bunko Boy skimming that J piece to get a Tetris ready. And keeping that counting to 4 pretty solidly.
Ringo's got a couple of misdrops. This could spell disaster. Okay, and Bunko Boy decides to make the decision to counter the garbage instead of tanking and receiving. I think that might have worked out in Ringo's favor, and I believe it does.
Yeah. That round's gonna tie it up 1-1.
Well, one thing I'm noticing already as well that I'm kind of curious about, because I don't think I've noticed this from seeing some of Ringo's previous play, but they seem to have quite a preference for T-spin singles when the opportunity presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely sure how well that T-spin's not going to work.
Ooh, there was a lot of misdrops in that opener, and I think Ringo might pay. Yep, Ringo's gonna pay the price for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, not the
Bunko Boy
not
taking the
easy
lead once
part.
again.
The lead has not exceeded 1. Obviously, doesn't mean too much. We're only 3 games in, but still quite a feat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Bunko Boy with the typical fin opener, but
and Ringo with the perfect clear. Proving it's like we don't do fins. This is a real opener here, and you're.
Oh no,
Yeah.
the I-lock fin. And the fin to win does not work out for Bunko Boy.
Fin
Ringo
to
takes
not
their
win,
second.
clearly.
Little misdrop on
Ooh.
the MS2, I believe, from Ringo.
Oh, but
And-
nice setup on that floating. And there's a T-spin triple to boot. Managed to recover from, trying to recover from that opener. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a
there's
lot of
still quite a
misdrops
few
right
more
now,
misdrops,
so.
but
Z-Prop will get
Nice
another
pa-
T-spin.
yeah.
Still gonna donate. for
yeah,
another
still
one.
getting really solid efficiency despite those, like, pretty hefty misdrops. It's just going to be a real problem when Ringo has to start down stacking on the board.
Oh, what is this green from both players?
Oh, goodness, what is Ringo doing?
Oh, please do not tell me Ringo considered a fin. That brief pause made me feel like that there was a fin as a very real consideration there. I don't think it's worth it at this point.
No, it's not at all.
Bunko Boy.
Oh, that's gonna give Ringo. That's gonna give Ringo, I think, the breathing room that they need here.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and
I don't- and
look at how much this is playing to their advantage. Coming back from that misdrop really changed everything. Oh my goodness.
On the double S as well, they needed a T or a Z, and none of them came within a timely manner for Bunko Boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like changing things up, going to be going for the PCO, manages to get it off. And
Right.
oh, I think might have been a little bit of a misdrop. Thankfully, does not misdrop the second T-spin. Would have been in a really bad back foot spot to have had that misdrop. Thankfully
Indeed.
for them, does not go through. Going to set up
Ooh,
an
Ringo with the
SDSD.
SDSD.
Z
Stacking on top of it. Is there?
beautiful
Oh!
donation, and that's going to set up into
Okay.
a fractal effortlessly. Double misdrop from Bunko
That
Boy.
was
I think that's going to close it off.
Oh my goodness. Those setups were really, really tight. Oh my goodness. Ringo really playing a little flashy here.
Continues to go for wait. Is there a dono on top of this? Not entirely sure what the clean resolution is. It appears there's not one for the time being. Meanwhile, Bunko Boy has a beautiful chance to transition to a 6-3 well. And Ringo has to play defense, cannot get a Tetris off, but they can get a down stack
They can
combo.
still keep stacking, can manage to get a few more lines through,
With the 9
finds a bit of
combo.
an, finds that out.
Going further! 10
Ringo's
combo.
still alive.
Oh, they're greeting for the Tetris, and they still get it off in time!
Oh my... g-
And now Bunko Boy with the 5 combo! Just
Oh my goodness,
barely
this is
alive.
this is so dicey. Like both players just on the brink of death right now.
I feel like
and
I'm at a
Ringo
casino,
greeting
look how
a
dicey
bit
the
with the
situation
floating.
looks.
Oh
Bunko
my
Boy grabs the
goodness,
Tetris.
what's going on here?
Okay, and the timing play.
Okay.
Wow, and Ringo still has
Oh,
another
oh.
combo. 9 combo.
Ringo's with the
finally
9
ends it.
combo? What? Oh my goodness, what was that round?
And is that 4 straight from Ringo? I think that's 4 straight.
Yeah, that is. Ringo making a comeback. Oh, that S miss drop. Followed by the perfect clear from...
But the Bunko Boy doesn't have a really good misdrop either.
Oh, yeah.
Given a little bit of chance to stay alive. Okay, I guess goes for the teaspoon on top. I don't know why we're doing
Ringo
that.
really held on to the... Ringo really held on to that TP's like greeting a little bit. Oh my goodness, and that risk paid off.
They're gonna combo into
And look
a
at this.
Tetris, and they can keep
Oh
the
my goodness, the down stack
going.
continues up to 8. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and they make a mid. They mid game DT, but misdrop.
Oh no, that DT misdrop.
And Bunko Boy continues to grab back some momentum. 3-5.
Trying to make a comeback.
It's only a 2-game set. Obviously, Ringo only needs 4 more to close this out.
Yeah.
And Bunko almost with the pseudo color clear. Just had one lone O piece lying down on their matrix.
Yeah.
Gonna wait, accepts, then receives. Okay, not gonna go with the 4 wide potential continuation. And then just to get some cheese spins.
Oh, these misdrops from Ringo though. Ugh. Caused a lot of slip-ups there.
And now, 9 games in, it's 5-4.
Mhm.
We're only gonna have at max 8 more games left in this set, but still looks to be quite close.
Yeah.
Yeah, one other thing I'm also picking up as well, both players are a little bit more prone to misdrops than we have seen from the previous set, but I think because they're both similar in that aspect, we see a lot of opportunity for both players to fix those misdrops.
Yeah,
sometimes
indeed.
in very creative ways that we definitely would not see coming in a different set.
Yeah, that's one of the bright sides of misdropping is that like if you misdrop a lot, like the solutions you can find to fix those misdrops can be really satisfying to watch.
Oh wow, we're going for the greedy T-spin.
Oh yeah, Ringo's greeting really hard there, but manages to find an out.
Oh, misdrops on the L piece.
Yep.
Oh, gets another T-spin single.
Yeah, good
Bunko
T-spin.
Boy goes for the
Honestly, that was a
combo.
good way to skim that line.
Oh, 7
Counting
combo.
to 4, getting another Tetris.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
a
but
up on Bunko Boys. And
yeah,
Ringo does not
the
go
misdrops
for
are really turning the tides between these two players right now. Bunko Boy
tries to play it slow. I don't know if there's a good place
in a bit of a dicey situation here. Things are looking very precarious. Yeah.
And I believe it was a T-spin triple to solidify the deal. Ringo claws the lead back to 2.
Yeah. Might widen that gap with this next round, who knows?
I think Bunko Boy goes for the TKI. I'm not sure exactly where the misdrop happened for Ringo's side. They seem to have cleaned it up just fine. Oh, they might be able to get for a C-spin? Yes, they will.
Yep, there. I mean, in a situation like that, it seems pretty obvious to go for the C-spin.
Oh, it's all low mistake on the T-spin there for Ringo.
Not quite a T-spin on Ringo's
play.
Let's see what Bunko Boy can do right now.
Oh no,
Those players about. Ooh!
Yeah,
This drops to Jay, but still in this technically. But not for much longer.
Yeah, really good stuff there from Bungle Boy. Realizing that was their opportunity to strike. You can see their board state is very low. They cashed out on all their resources to make sure they got that top out.
Yeah.
All right, Bungle Boy goes for PCO, is not able to get it. And now Ringo able to get the MS2. Ooh, it was also a little bit of a... Oh, Bungle Boy's going for a Finn, I think. Oh, okay, no, they bail.
Pretty safe
And
call
Dono
there.
into something here for Ringo's board. Guess on the count of 4. Not the cleanest way to get that T-spin, but it's going to work. There we go. We do see the donation come out in a timely manner. Bungle Boy trying to figure out if they have any good ways to dig through this current stack. Just gonna go for the Tetris.
Trying to
first
gun for a
and forget
T-spin
about-
setup, I think.
There's the Finn we see.
There's
from
another.
Bungle Boy.
There's a Finn right there. I think one of the few good situations where a Finn might happen.
I mean, if there's a good situation for a Finn to take place, Bungle Boy will usually find it. I know
is
they
true.
do, in fact, love their Finn setups.
A lot of people love the Finn setup. It's kind of a has a weird.
Oh,
cult
no!
following. Oh, that flat T misdrop from Ringo. That's gonna allow Bungle Boy to tie this up 6-6.
Yeah, it's now it's a first to 3. We're almost at a point where we're just doing a puzzle game set. Bungle Boy does get the PC. Ringo with a bit of upstacking. Might have to cash out on a lot of resources early now.
Oh,
no,
that
and
T
another
misdrop. No.
Okay, there are enough pieces to survive. Bungle Boy is not able to get a strong enough combo, but you can see Ringo tries to stall it out, but Bungle Boy has the advantage sheet.
Oh, that Elmis drop.
Oh, Ringo's forced to
Things
bail
are
on
looking
an
really
IP.
dicey here. Ugh. And Bungle Boy's gonna
7-6.
take back the lead with that. Oh my goodness.
I believe this is the first lead Bungle Boy's had since 2 wins, but
Yeah,
again,
since
we're getting closer and
since the very
closer.
beginning.
And the lead is not going very many places at this point.
Yeah, it is going back and forth a lot between these two. All right, Bungle Boy just has one line blocking that well and is just going to start dropping the eyepieces down. Ringo, very, very clean, flat stack.
Well, spends 2 eyepieces over on the side. I'm not sure I like this decision. Okay, but they have...
It'll pay off in the end. We're fine right.
Oh, I do see this. 8 into...
Yeah, there's a pretty substantial down stack. Opts to stop it there for the Tetris, but that's going to be more than enough for Ringo to tie this back up 7-7.
That is a clear example of why I should stay in the caster's booth. Called the decision not great, and then immediately won the set because of said decision, or won the game because of said decision.
Ooh, a misdropped S right off the bat, but hopefully it's early enough where that won't matter all that much. Just as long as Bungle Boy doesn't send any substantial garbage, which is already... Actually, Ringo's going to be able to live through that.
Yeah, the garbage...
It's a lot of garbage,
very
but it's clean,
and-
so it's manageable.
Yeah, I think Bungle Boy is looking for potential downstack.
And then here's a bit of a combo.
So is Ringo.
Yeah, there's a combo
So
going
then
on.
gaming-
Ringo is delaying it a bit, just keeping it a bit short.
Which, especially for their case, with how they were situated on the board, was definitely the right play to go for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right now, ooh, Ringo's at a bit of a disadvantage here with the board height, but
Oh, they
I
do
mean, we
not
can-
have a really good... Wait, they get a T-spin there?
yeah, they have really interesting
still
like
counting to
donation setups. Yeah, and counting to 4, like they are trying to squeeze out efficiency wherever possible, and that might help Ringo in the end here.
Yeah, and I think Bungle Boy was trying to play for the top out, but look at... I mean, it's a really cheesy board. We know they're able to play around with it. Eyepiece almost gets stuck,
Eyepiece
and now,
Tetris, that's
unfortunately,
gonna be
it's
enough.
try.
That's gonna be enough for Ringo to take the round, sending it to match point.
And it's 8-7.
Ringo
One
might take
more game.
another round here with this advantage.
All right, Bungle Boy does have the PC. Ringo does
Pulls
get
it
the
off,
initial T-spin triple in time.
But I mean, Ringo still has room to downstack and send some efficient garbage. Able to keep this going.
A little awkward T placement there for Bunko Boy, able to still keep efficiency up.
Mm-hmm. Ringo once again counting to 4. Like
Oh my goodness, the greed from Bunko Boy to accept that. Oh, they need the... Oh,
it's very risky, it's very ballsy. It might be a little much. Oh my goodness.
And a mirrored piece would have definitely kept Bunko Boy alive, but still 7-9, a fantastic showing.
Yeah, what a round. Bunko Boy took a risk there, and it was calculated, but I mean, Ringo's the better one at math.
I mean, when you're playing against a very defensive player, like, it's going to take either hyper offense or hyper defense usually to try and break the mold. But unfortunately, in that case, Ringo was nowhere near any danger, so it just did not pan out very well. But still, a 7-9 and a 1st-9 in our losers top 8.
Yeah,
if we
that's
get more sets like that in our losers bracket, we are in for a treat tonight.
Yeah, we're in for a long ride. But you know, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for long rides, you know. I'm here for close matches, here for some intense stuff, you know.
Yeah, and so with that win, that will secure a top 4 finish for Ringo Ando. Going to have to see how the other side of our losers bracket pans out, which I believe will be involving Shark as well as the 2 remaining Puyo players who are in losers bracket beyond Elio, which should be Void and Wilted Petals, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I believe,
The winner of
especially
that
for our
will be
next
facing
match,
Shark.
Yeah, I believe at this point we're just going to go right into our next match. So I have not seen Wilted Petals play before. From what I did hear, talking with Jaden a little bit before this event, I believe before Supernuba did have to DQ, they were actually playing with Supernuba, which, again, for those who are not aware, was the 2 seed for our events today. And I believe it was 2-2 when the set stopped. And if they're able to take games off of some of the best Tetris players as well in the mixed versus format, I mean, Void's able to do it as well. I mean, if you've been keeping up with PPT events, you definitely know Void. But I don't see this being an easy set for Void to take through, even though this seeding-wise looks like a mismatch.
Yeah, there are some surprising wins that Petal seemed to take, especially against Riona. Like, looking in the bracket, Riona being like a really, really good Puyo player. I
mean, it was the upset they needed to make top 8, and alas, here they are.
And like, here we are, top 8. Chance to take it even further.
So yeah, winner of this will have to go on to face Shark. So ideally, they're going to have to keep this in the back of their mind. Obviously, you want to win this Puyo set, but you know you're going to have to start taking into account all the Tetris you just watched, because that's going to be your next matchup.
All right, Puyo v Puyo. Something I'm admittedly not as familiar with, but I can recognize
there's the all
GTR
clear
on Void.
For both. It looks like Void's able to get
both players got an all clear.
Yeah, but
but there was a rock. There was a rock on Will's end.
Yeah, but Wilted had
right off the bat.
And
Void playing aggressive there.
Which, again, when you have the advantage in the all-clear bonus, they saw their opportunity to go for that top-out, and top-out, unfortunately, they did. They did, sorry. I mixed, like, they did and indeed, so it was like, they did.
Happens. Alright.
Goes for a
interesting
Thorn.
power chain.
Does that cut off the... Oh, it does. It prevents the greens from connecting. Obviously, I think there's a little bit of an opportunity for Wilted Petals to dig through a little bit. But I don't know... Oh, that's a beautiful continuation. If the reds are their trigger now, they should be able to reach full chain with this.
Yeah. Look at that. That chain's going off.
And it's an 8, but I think Void has the length.
Void, I think, has the upper hand here.
And that is an 11 chain from Void.
That is a beautiful 11 chain right there. Oh my goodness. A moon's worth of a moon and then some. My goodness.
I mean, it's not every day you're expecting to receive an 11 chain after. I mean, the fact that Wilton was able to recover full chain with after the thorn that Void had sent was still very, very impressive. But
Yeah.
obviously, with the compromises they had to make, this was not. Oh wow! And I think this is
An early. Oh, this is an all clear, isn't it?
Yep. It's a 6-chain all clear with the L shapes. Is Wilton able to get the full chain?
Oh, is Will going to be able to counter this?
It might be a counter, but I think all their resources going for it.
No, that's a bit too much, I think.
Nope.
Yeah. And there's another all, that's another all clear. Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
And so already it's 3-0 for Void. Well, a lot of yellows.
Lots of yellows here.
There is only yellow. This is the sun was very mad after the eclipse. All we can see is yellow.
Puyo-san?
And a little bit of the early chain pop from Wilted gets us.
Oh yeah, Will getting the early one. Is
Void,
this power
oh my goodness, the
power 4. That's not gonna be enough to mitigate all the garbage, but I mean, Void is still in this. I'm not sure if that's gonna be the best situation to be in though.
Wilted looks like just Will's gonna right now tries to block off the chain. I believe they do enough. Void has to find a way to dig through to main chain, but I don't see enough materials in time.
Yeah, no, I don't see it either.
Yeah, purple can't connect. And so
that blue Puyo got in the way. And Wilted is going to take one round.
But notice, Wilted had a 5-chain, and instead failed on it, sent a couple of power 1s just to make sure Void was cut off from their materials, and then delivered that final punch.
Oh, I'm seeing... Okay, that is very interesting power too. Very big power too.
Will needs to be quite careful with how they try to stack through this.
Yeah, they kind of need to dig through this.
Where is the
purple?
Are they ghost rowing? I don't think this ghost row works out, right?
Not really, no.
Oh, where are they're getting green.
Oh my goodness, the greens are just nowhere in sight. That's just dirty. That RNG was just not favoring Wilted there.
And so Void picks up another. It's 4-1. Let's see. We'll be seeing a lot of greens today. I don't.
Not that many greens.
Actually, really curious about Will stacking. Will stacking, I believe the kind of like inverted GTR, except they're also doing it as like the new GTR form.
Void going for what I believe is sandwich.
Oh. Yeah, L-shape in the sandwich. Does get the full chain off. Will committed the resources, trying to top them out, but Void gets the full chain.
Yeah. Power 5, yeah. Bit of a power chain in there. A star and 3 rocks.
At this point, there's not really much else to do but top out. It was definitely, like, Void was not terribly far away from getting topped out from the 4-chain, but they managed to get the resources just in the nick of time to make that full chain off.
Yeah, Puyo... The strategy behind Puyo chaining is very interesting to me as someone who's, like, not as familiar with it.
It is, it's a wee bit difficult to follow.
Yeah, it can be a bit difficult to follow. I'm starting to get the hang of it a bit more. But obviously, my Puyo experience is not the greatest.
Yes, we can see, the yellows will allow full chain from Wilted. And I believe
There's a bit of a power chain from Void.
Oh, you don't see
look at
when the tail powers. It's going to be a 9-chain. 10 chain.
Oh, there's a 10 chain from both. Oh, the power difference. Oh my goodness. Those Puyos.
I guess if those powers didn't happen, then Void would have had like a very long chain. I'm surprised.
I mean, that was enough regardless because it was the same. It was the same chain length, just different. Just different approach. But there's a GTR right there on Void's board.
I'm trying to find where Will's attempting to chain this from.
That is a huge cut, but that's enough.
Void doesn't see a chain either and sends the very strong disruption chain.
Yeah, just right off the bat, like Will was not ready for that.
Looks like Void going to be opting for the L-shaped chain. They're going to need a green to finish this off, where they're getting very severely green droughted.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're just going to convert this into... There's the Thorn, and does quite a bit of garbage. Actually just going to continue with another mid-game disruption.
Yeah.
Oh, but does Will have access? Will needs a lot of greens very soon, but I think if they're able to pull it off, they might be able to recover back.
Will has a little bit of a... Got a 4 chain in.
Pop greens? Oh, what are they doing up here?
Oh, what are they? Oh,
the greens!
That was a little... I think that was a bit too risky.
I'm not sure if they were trying to, like, finish a follow-up that was, like, below the main stack, but... Or maybe
I'm not sure either, but that's going to give the match point. It all comes down to this.
This looks like a very strong disruption chain if Void's able to pull something off. No, is it main? It's main.
Oh,
that's just a beautiful tail.
Yeah.
Yep, and
bit of a power 7, yeah. And Will, I'm not sure is going to be able to counter this at all. No. That looks like it's game.
Yep, and that's very solid 9-1.
That was that was some solid plays in Puyo.
I mean, we definitely saw it. It was not just build the longer chain and go. Like,
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Like we saw some disruptions there.
I mean, I usually, I don't know. I guess Void might be pretty comfortable going for the shorter chains, just especially with a lot of the mixed versus format. You can't really go for stuff beyond.
Yeah, no. Yeah, because Tetris can easily disrupt a Puyo chain like that.
But especially like when Wilted had like a small window of advantage, they played to try and get that top out as much as possible. But it felt like Void just had the resources time and time again to get around things.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's gonna
Void, that will book Void's spot into our top 6, and I believe for Wilted, especially given their initial seeding, 7th place finish is very, very respectable. And I believe they're also going to be participating in Puzzle Kingdom's event later this month. Definitely going to be looking out to see how they fare in that.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah, that's just next week, I believe.
If I'm not, I think so.
But yeah, Void's going to be moving on to face Shark in losers' quarters, and then the winner of that will be facing Ringo, and rounding out our top 4.
Yep. So I'm curious. I assume just for the match order, I assume we're probably gonna go over to OSW and Elio on the winner side.
Yeah, so that'll be a Puyo v Tetris, right?
I believe that's the first Puyo v Tetris we will see in our top 8. So, proves to be quite exciting. Elio, very, very well versed in the mixed versus format, and especially given right now that there's only one other Puyo player left, they might be kind of having to. They'll have quite a bit of an interesting showing to try and bring it home from the winner side of bracket. Obviously, on the loser side, as a result of needing a Puyo versus Puyo in our losers top 8, Void is now kind of the Lone Ranger at that point. So they'll have to be going against Shark. If they win that, they'd play Ringo, and then in losers finals, it'll be dependent on this set.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. Well, here we go. Void versus Shark. Some Puyo v Tetris action. Do I make the dumb joke? Like Tetris player at slight disadvantage.
Yeah, you can make it.
I don't think I need to right now. But I am interested. I am interested to see what Void will do in this situation, because Tetris is definitely gonna disrupt Puyo a lot more than like a Puyo v Puyo match. It'll interrupt. It's gonna interrupt like more frequently and more consistently. So we'll see if Void's chain strats from last match will carry over here. All right.
All right. So, yeah, oh, so we are doing Void and Shark. Okay. I guess for Void and well, yeah, Void is I guess is basically warmed up. Shark is not too hot off the presses as well. So it will be interesting, I guess, in Shark's case. Has Shark played Puyo yet in this bracket? I don't know if they have. I think they might have only played Tetra players.
If I look through the bracket, let's see.
Well, because they did play Wooddeck earlier. I assume Wooddeck.
I don't think so, because they're also
this
they also
may be
face
Shark's
Uno.
very first Puyo versus Tetris match.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
Given how familiar Void is with the matchup, I definitely think Void is sitting pretty comfortable with the current matchup as is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just
right.
especially for mixed versus, I think knowledge of the matchup is extremely important on both sides, like from Puyo player and Tetris player's perspective. I don't know if Sharp's gonna kind of have to adapt on the fly a little bit. But if that is the case, I am curious to see how they do take to the change in scenery.
Yeah. And Shark is just immediately going for the 6-3 sprint, just going for Tetris after Tetris. Look at that. Already sending 3 Tetrises, and Void ready to counter with a nice power 4.
Yeah, but Void does use most of the resources in countering.
Yeah, that has to use basically the whole board in order to counter that.
Ooh, greens are in a little bit of a weird
really
spot.
trying to hold off for that chain. There it is.
Power 2 should be enough. That's a lot of damage on a Shark's board.
Yeah, but Shark's gonna start that down stack. On the road to recovery right now. Has a nice count of 4 for that Tetris. Ooh, things are looking a bit dicey on Void's board. Things looking really high up. Trying their best to keep that chain going.
The 2 chains will keep them alive until margin
Yeah.
time starts to kick in, and then the 2 chains will start to really pull some weights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will.
Which, given from what I've seen for a lot of Puyo vs Tetris as well, I feel like the advantage in matchup shifts from Tetris to Puyo as soon as margin time starts kicking in, and then for the Tetris player to kind of have like a redemption arc a little bit, they have to survive till maximum margin time because it becomes extremely risky for both players. And
yeah.
I think with optimal play, Tetris can win towards the end game, but it is still a very, very Herculean task.
Yeah, and look at this. Like, Shark's sending a lot of damage in,
Oh,
not giving
yeah.
Void any room to make any matches.
And especially with how the columns got broken down, Void was forced to split a lot of Puyos on the first column, which drastically slowed them down.
Yeah.
You can see,
We're gonna
again,
see how Void
goes
deals
for
with this
the-
next round.
goes for
Oh, that's an all clear, I think. No, not quite. I misread that blue Puyo. But
I mean, it's still very, very close to... You're gonna just launch a 3 chain. That is most of the resources. So we'll see Shark manages to tank and then accept.
another huge chunk coming in. Those purples, yeah, gonna get cut off.
Yeah, not gonna get
those greens aren't gonna do anything, unfortunately.
There's so many greens right now for Void. Void needs a lot of blues if they're gonna start working with the material. But they set up a very nice cascading pattern over on the right.
Yeah.
Gets a 3 chain, but Shark's able to counter everything that gets sent and make sure that Void receives.
Yeah, there's a lot coming in from Shark's end, and Void is really just trying to.
And I think that might be. Oh no, it's not the blues.
Oh, the blues.
Void alive.
Blues keep Void alive, but I don't think for much longer. No.
Nowhere to put the greens. Void has to cut.
Yeah.
And that's another game for Shark.
Yeah, Shark. Yeah, Shark coming in kind of strong here against the Puyo.
Yeah,
I think Void's really trying to balance out when to send that chain, because send it too late and you're not going to be able to do it, but send it too early and it kind of just gets shrugged off as nothing.
Notice the 4 chain. Nope, that's 3, I guess, from Void. Misread a little bit of the cascades.
Yeah.
Oh, there's not a lot of good options to keep going, but they managed to spend some more resources. Oh, and they're still accepting garbage.
The Puyo v Tetris matchup is very hard.
Okay, able to maybe connect some greens, but especially when you're in the advantage sheet this much as Tetris, you just gotta keep swinging. And there's nowhere to put
and there's no room for Void to place anything else. That is...
This is, 3-0 against Void. Is a very strong start to the set.
Yeah. It is just...
But yeah, notice again, Void's still attempting to build extremely vertically high up on columns 1 and 2. Just build up a really strong cascading pattern.
Yeah, trying to like... I believe that... Is that to just like prevent the garbage from like interfering with the chains as much as possible?
Partially, and it also means you can kind of like take 4 or 5 rows of garbage in the center and then get your chain off, and then that way you're not having to counter garbage, you're just using it.
Okay, and I mean Void's kind of in a better situation here.
Well, 5-chain combo.
But that is a lot of garbage incoming.
And again, notice that same idea of stacking vertically on the right side this time gets Void a 4-chain.
It's a nice 4-chain.
And this is the first time we really see Shark having some difficulty sending some garbage over.
Surely there's something else that Void can do.
Well,
there's going to be a 4-chain. There's going to be a 5-chain actually.
Digging through the
pretty
garbage.
Solid stuff. Just needs like one more solid chain. As long as Shark doesn't send literally all of that back at once. But that's a lot of garbage coming in, and it covers the last spot.
They get column 3'd. They only had 2 columns that had to receive 4 lines of garbage, and one of them was
column
the lethal one.
Yeah, column 3. You don't like having a Puyo land there is just that's brutal.
Well, because one other thing as well that I'm also taking note. So this time we do see Void go for the full counter. It is only a 3-chain, but it does at the very least prevent Shark from sending some immediate garbage over.
Yeah, but I mean, Shark's already back on the down stack here and sending quite a bit.
Oh, that's a really awkward green to try and work with. Looks like they're gonna try and go for some. Okay, gets a 2-chain.
There's a 2-chain there, but Shark has a lot queued up and is ready to send.
Oh, they get their resources on the right side. They get a 3-chain.
Okay, they get a 3-chain. That's going to be enough room for... It's going to be a little bit of breathing room. A little bit of time.
Yeah, Void needs to make a match. Try and see if they can get some of this left side down. And it looks like they will. Huge power 2.
Substantial power 2 there.
Yeah, the blues are a little bit awkward on the left side, but some beautiful
there's
power
a 3.
chains.
Yeah, there's the 4th chain.
Shark.
That might be enough to take a round, and it is. Void's still in here, gonna be able to keep that fighting spirit going.
Yeah, the power chains are essential for Puyo in this matchup, and definitely playing to that advantage for Game 5. So Void will avoid the sweep, but still not out of the woods by any means. I mean...
Yeah, it's a bit of a tall ordeal, especially with how aggressive Shark is being in Tetris right now. Well, here we go. There's quite a bit of a chain going on. Power 5.
5 is going to power. My goodness, Shark goes really greedy.
Oh, Shark was just on the verge of topping out there. One unlucky misdrop and Void could have gotten that round.
Alright, some very nice play as well from Shark. Avoids getting a 1-2 sucker punch. And Void's right now, I'm not entirely sure what the optimal match is going to be. I guess Reds.
Ooh,
and it won't start the cascade.
Okay, there's going to be a huge power chain here. Power 5. Going to be quite a bit coming in. Oh, it's still not enough to get Shark out of the game, though.
And Shark has a really jagged board, but a really good opportunity to make some T-spins out of this, work their way over to a cleaner center well. But the huge power 3 into 4 from Void will help ensure Shark can't get to a comfortable advantage slot just in the nick of time.
Yeah, and that's going to chain once more. Another 3-chain coming in. That's not going to be a lot, though. Shark's going to immediately counter that.
And a full counter as well from Tetris is not an easy thing to do. Oh, but after this next chain...
Yeah, there's going to be a lot coming in here.
Yeah, I think the
Shark's still in this, has a nice Tetris to boot. And is going to be able to send a huge counterattack here. But Void's going to be able to cancel it out.
Oh, this is max margin time.
Oh, yeah, we're in max margin time. Void has an opportunity to send something really substantial here.
Yeah, singles and one chains will start to send quite a hefty bit of garbage.
Yeah. But Void has to get them in before Shark fills up their board.
But I think with Shark in this situation, with the amount of upstacking they did, allows
the
Void
power
to
3 is gonna still get canceled out by Shark.
Shark wanted to go for some T-spin double there, but it was a really awkward spot within the column.
Ooh, Void kind of playing risky there with those greens.
Yeah, this is a power into a 5-chain.
That's gonna be quite a bit. That might be... Oh! Shark just barely in it still! Getting the Tetris at the top! Oh, and that's gonna block. Oh, that's gonna block off the blues, but still gets that red in. Still gonna chain into it.
Chain from Void. I think that's gonna be too
that's gonna be the round. I think. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that survival. And great survival from both players. Like Shark able to play efficiently at the top of the board. Void able to survive until max margin time. Holy smokes, that was a good Puyo Tetris round.
This is what we came here to see at Ziodyne. Oh wow, and so much of it got cut off. Shark intentionally comboing the Tetris and T-spin for some added garbage bonus.
Oh yeah, and look at that garbage cascading into a 7-chain!
That's a lot of resources.
Wow. Oh my goodness, Shark halfway up the board now. Oof.
And okay, so it's like Void... Is that a 3? Okay, I think it was a 3-chain.
Yeah. Shark is trying to downstack right now, sending a lot over to Void's board.
Yeah, Void cashes out on some more resources. Power 2. Keeps off that pressure. And Shark gonna try it. Counts to 4, gets the Tetris, but Void with that 4-chain does cause Shark to get pushed up a little bit. Have to spend some resources.
Yeah,
and
power 3 on that. Void just keeping it going.
Still a little bit of a tricky spot though for both involved. I mean, as Shark, you don't want to give Void a lot of chance to really start building up this.
Yeah, Void's just doing a lot of standard chains right now, but it's only 2 chains and the like. Shark still being able to play efficiently. Void's really trying hard to work around this.
Oh, this is
gonna be able to get up.
Chain.
Yeah, power 5.
And
gonna be able to see quite a bit there.
Yeah, with all of that, Shark has to spend a lot of time countering. We might actually be at max margin time again, if I'm not mistaken. I think the singles are starting to send garbage.
Ooh, but that's a lot of garbage for Void to deal with. I don't know if Void has the...
Oh, is that complete lock?
Oh.
Yeah, Void needs purples. Void's gambling on purples.
Oh, gambling a little too hard. Try to go all in and then lost the money.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had like a lone purple and yellow to try and make this match with the greens potentially, but there just was not a really good opportunity for that to happen.
No, not at all.
Oh, and I think a little misdrop there from Shark will prevent garbage from getting sent over too hefty. Okay, Void's gonna need the reds to match.
Yeah, needs the reds for a trigger. And there we go.
It was a little bit scary there. I think they almost
forgot really scary there, honestly. Yeah, but there's a solid 7-chain right there. Shark's gonna have to clear quite a bit.
You can
Still
see
in it
Shark
though.
whipping their way through
It's not
the
lethal.
combo.
Void with a nice
Oh,
fork
and they're-
chain.
Yeah, they had to bail, unfortunately. I think they were going to try and accept a little bit more, but that chain from Void lasted a wee bit longer than they were expecting.
Ooh, things are a little dicey for Void here. This board state's not looking too great.
Oh, look at all the
Oh,
S's
but
and
look at
P's.
it.
They're gonna
Oh,
have
look
to
at that
go.
power. Look at that power 4. Oh my goodness, that was substantial, and that was enough for Void to take the win.
Yep, and starting to claw it back. It's 3-5.
Yeah.
Okay, as we continue onward, not a lot of reds right now for Void. Shark combos the two Tetrises to get as much damage out of their attacks as they possibly can.
Yeah, and look at that. That's
I believe greens is the trigger. Will Void have time to get
Oh,
multiple?
a lot of a bit too much time on that. Oh, that is rough.
Yeah, and so Void just did not have a really good way to build up for the greens, except for tanking about 7+ lines of garbage. But from there, it was very convenient for Shark to just keep up that timing game.
Yeah.
Well, is this a king? Wait, they're gonna get that Z spin beautifully. Shark with a little bit of some creative stacking to fix these misdrops. Fortunately, has to use a T to prop up their next T spin, but not gonna be too. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
A nice power 3 from Void. That might. Oh goodness, catching Shark at a bit of a bad time. But Shark's gonna be able to get through it.
Oh, it's
there's
chain
the
from Void. At the very least,
Shark has enough to mitigate some of it. Not all of it though. If Void can get one good chain off before Shark can continue to downstack, then this could be Void's round. But
given the current state, yeah, this is going to be a huge power 3, right? Oh, and there's the
power 4
extra.
And there's an eye clear. Yeah.
The eye clear is not going to do very much in the face
No.
of roughly 7
Yeah,
lines of garbage.
single doesn't send anything, so it's not gonna.
Well, that's why we wait for max margin time.
Void clearly wasn't.
Yeah, but Void is not going to waste any time. If they can get a win condition before max
if they can get a win early, then they get a win early. Like,
oh, and the purple is blocked off. It's so much garbage.
Immediately blocked off. My
I think,
goodness,
yeah,
that was big. Yeah,
another
that's
top
too
out for
much.
Shark.
Yeah, Shark playing really aggressive. Did not like that last round. Got some quick revenge, making things still just about the same in terms of score. Wow.
Alright, it looks like, yeah, Shark with the pseudo-dependency. Actually gonna...
Oh, that's a...
Wow, the T-spin single actually added about 4 rows of garbage in itself.
Oh, that's gonna be too much, I think, for Void to deal with. Yeah, everything gets cut off there.
That is crazy.
That's nuts. That was a rock already, and we're on match point.
I mean, Void felt like they were really starting to come back with this. It was like 4-5 or 4-6, and then Shark just immediately starts to pull those chains.
Yeah.
You can see it again. There's the double Tetris. Is Void ready?
Yeah, and
see 4 lines of garbage. It cuts
and
off.
Void didn't have anything. Gonna be able to get that off, but the garbage is just gonna come straight back.
Oh no, they missed.
Oh no! Oh, that's a misdrop. That's not how you want to end it, but end it.
And that's it.
Nonetheless. Oh my goodness.
Shark takes it 9-4 over Void, who has single-handedly won some of our most stacked PPT events to date, and has cut out the Puyo players. So now only Elio on winner's side remains.
Yeah. I do have to say though, I kind of went in there having a little bit more bias against Puyo, but that match was really close, all things considered.
I like a lot of players will joke of which player has the advantage. Obviously, I think with the given margin time, the way it is, it's a little bit more dynamic than that, because that does change over the course of the game. But Void is definitely one of the most seasoned veterans in the format, and it looks like Shark had no difficulty with the mixed versus format, even though I believe this kind of was their like first major test run. 9-4 over one of the most seasoned veterans is an incredibly impressive feat.
Yeah, that was some really good playing from Shark. Yeah, I think as they're like trying to like broaden their reach in terms of Tetris games, and it's really impressive to see what they can do with each separate entry, you know.
I mean, as if you're good in one of your preferred game of choice, usually you're quite proficient in all of them at the very least.
Yeah, obviously the skills transfer over, but there are still intricacies to the mechanics between each game that that I think will still throw you off if you're not familiar with them.
And it doesn't seem like Shark's really playing to PPT specifically. They just seem to be playing very well fundamentally, and it works out quite well for them. Like, obviously, there is a difference between going for your, MS2 opener, which a lot of players tend to do. So they knew they didn't want to go with that at the very least. But in terms of overall play, playing aggressive or trying to focus on defense, Shark seem to be very well knowledgeable about it. That, I guess maybe in my perspective, I wasn't really expecting to see that out of Shark for their first kind of major PPT2 debut. But if this is anything to go for their first showing, we're going to be seeing a lot of Shark in some high-level PPT tournaments in the foreseeable future.
Yeah. But with that, we're
at our top 4.
Yeah, we have our top 4: OSW, Elio, and Shark and Ringo.
Will be quite interesting. So Elio now, the lone Puyo player remaining, has obviously gotten to witness a little bit of how Shark decided to play against Void, and if they end up playing them later in the tournament, they might be able to use that to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to have any test for Tetris,
now there's OSW who has just a lot more experience, I think, with the Puyo v Tetris matchup. This is gonna be interesting.
Well, again, OSW is also one of the players in this bracket that could arguably do very well with Puyo as well as Tetris. They just opt to go for Tetris more frequently for the stronger consistency.
Yeah.
But I think especially out of the players that have the knowledge of, extremely high-level Puyo and extremely high-level Tetris, it only helps them.
Yeah, and these two are already off to the races. OSW with the C-spin ready.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit careful for this initial damage.
Ooh, and there's a bit of a combo from OSW. Going to be able to send a lot of garbage now. Cutting some stuff off, but Elio's still able to get the chain going.
Yeah, it's a 5
and
chain.
OSW just waiting to accept some of that. Going to be using that for more ammunition against Elio here.
Ooh, a little bit of a rough misdrop. I think they actually were anticipating getting a T-spin at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to get that T-spin double. Usually a lot of players will not try to play for efficiency just because they need to send off garbage immediately. But when you're playing as fast as OSW is, you can kind of afford to make some of those greedy decisions.
Yeah. Well, here we go. I mean, Elio's digging through the garbage as much as he can right now.
Oh, there's just a lot of things being
OSW.
Up, though.
Oh yeah, OSW is still sending a lot there. It's really hard.
So OSW will take first blood in winners finals.
Yeah. Seen a lot of Ringo today.
That seems to be a common thread. There's a lot of top players that really enjoy playing Ringo. Although I'm not sure if there's any specific. Oh, that's a lot to accept.
That's a lot coming in, and that's gonna cut off all of the chain. Oh my goodness, the garbage just cut off everything there. No choice for Elio, unfortunately.
I respect the effort to try and accept at least 4 lines of garbage, but I think OSW knew that was going to be a case. And so they did the exact same thing we saw Shark earlier. Comboed not only 2 Tetrises, but a little bit more extra credit on top. And it does so much more garbage for the Puyo side.
Yeah. Yeah, the garbage is just brutal on Puyo's end, it seems like.
Yeah, so there's the 3-chain from Elio, but there's still quite a bit that's buried.
Ooh. Yeah, Elio's just like, just trying to like just dig, make a lot of small chains, try and get by.
Oh, they need yellows. Where are the yellows?
The yellows are not coming until much later.
Oh my! And the double
one
green.
too late. The greens had to cut it off, and that's just gonna top Elio out. That's just mean.
Yeah, generally, especially for those of you coming from the Tetris scene, you may not think of RNG as a very determinate factor in your matches, with the exception of maybe early stick spin reference. But especially for Puyo players, there are a lot of times in the mixed versus matchup where you'll have to gamble on a particular setup or a particular
there's
chain.
There's gonna be a lot incoming from OSW.
I don't know. Is Elio able to get a strong hit off? I don't think they are. It's a 4, but OSW can still tank.
They still tank and still continue. That's a rock. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, when you have that much garbage, you have all the time in the world to wait that out. And so 4-0 for OSW. Now decides to go for the MS2, again, continuing to liven things up with their playstyle.
Oh, and then there's a perfect
things up.
here.
Will they get the DPC? They might have the speed for it. It looks like they do.
Yeah, they're going to chain that. And Elio is just struggling to get that chain off, and ugh. So dirty.
At the very least, OSW is still able to get
and there's...
start.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ghost Row doing
Ghost Row really helped there.
Alive. But only gets a 2-chain. Power 1 will definitely put in some work, give Elio some breathing room, which they so desperately need.
Yeah. Gonna get a power 3, actually.
Yeah,
gonna be able to get a few more lines on OSW's board, but I think OSW is gonna try and use that to just start comboing even more. Here we go, a 4-chain.
Oh, OSW doesn't really have a lot of garbage to send off with.
Yeah, Elio's starting to get a bit more of a foothold in this match right now.
Yeah, the one thing that OSW will have going is that those T-spins will start coming out a lot faster because there's not enough board to soft drop them down.
Yeah. Oh, just needs okay, gets the reds, gonna be able to get a 4-chain here. Unfortunately, that one garbage Puyo blocking off the red, but who knows, maybe that'll be a trigger.
Oh, and look at this, OSW intentionally skimming in doubles and triples as we go to max margin time to ensure
power 3,
that
4 actually. There's going to be a lot coming in, but OSW is going to be able to tank it, no problem.
There we go, counts to 4. Mini T-spin single, even without back-to-back, starting to send some garbage.
Yeah,
you can see OSW going for the stun lock combo.
Oh yeah, and all of that's going to be in column 3, which Elio needs to be open. But there's only one spot the garbage could really go.
And especially one of the things as well, because like a lot of players will recognize once you start being able to send garbage with singles, you can just kind of stun lock your opponent by just sending singles after singles. Mm-hmm. But in OSW's case, not only did they go that, they made sure that their follow-ups were being executed perfectly, so that once the chain had ended, Elio still had to receive a crazy amount of garbage Puyo.
Oh goodness,
wow.
Man, that's a lot of garbage. One in column 3, just too much. Yeah, OSW's playing there was just really quick and relentless.
Alright, so 6-0 right now. See, mini T-spin single, at least keeps some back-to-back. And it looks like, is this 5-4 stacking from OSW?
Oh, kind of looks like it, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Does not go for comboing their garbage. Just trusts that their fundies here are going to have enough garbage sending, and it looks like that is the correct answer.
I've always found the term fundies to be really weird. Oh, and the green Puyos. Ugh.
And it's just OSW just does not seem to be letting up in the slightest. Obviously, I know
Yeah,
with grand
OSW.
finals,
Yeah,
they'll earn a little
OSW
bit
really
more
like knows the
respect.
Puyo v Tetris game.
Oh, almost a little bit of a misdrop there, but manages to recover. I mean, not really recover. They didn't have anything to recover specifically, but
Yeah.
avoids the problematic situation. at
Ooh,
hand.
was that a misdrop
Well,
with the green?
that doesn't skim. I was gonna say,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
OSW
there's
has
still-
to be careful with how they accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Who does have some combo play. We have a 3-chain coming in from Elio, but OSW
Yeah.
manages to counter, send it all back. And actually, is that a beautiful forecast on the C-spin from OSW?
Yeah.
And again, once again,
Wonderful.
it goes for counter risk. Oh, they launched it early!
Ooh. But Elio's gonna be able to counter it with a nice power 3. Yeah, getting these Elio's gonna be able to get these chains off. Unfortunately, the blue Puyo's cut off that chain.
Oh, this is scary. We have column 6
this is-
locked off to garbage.
Yeah.
Did you get the trigger off?
Yeah, there's the trigger, but ooh, this is looking real dicey. But that's a nice 4-chain right there. Power 3 into 4.
Oh,
OSW
no.
trying to set up that C-spin, just waiting for the L to tuck in. Gets the
Having to play a
triple.
little bit.
There's the, Obstinate TSD. That's interesting.
Let's see. I feel like we're getting really close to some excessive margin time. I think it just kicked in.
Oh, and the garbage coming in just too soon. Elio had the perfect piece for that. But looks like OSW is going to be taking this into match point with us. It's looking to be a potential sweep.
And a lot of these Tetris players are not enjoying this mixed format. Just trying to just get through the match as soon as possible. And we see the 1,
Oh,
2,
that's a
3
huge.
sucker
That's a
punch.
huge. And Elio just wasn't prepared for that. I'm not sure exactly what could have been done there. Maybe I'm not sure if that chain could have been activated early. It didn't look like it could have been.
Well, especially when you have to accept, over 6 lines of garbage as Puyo, you have to you have to both be prepared for it, be able to take that much garbage, which usually people are not preparing like a holy counter setup. You kind of need to chain a little bit different in the mixed versus matchup. But when you have to accept that much garbage as well, it's so incredibly risky. And trying to find ways to make it more consistent often results in a top out. But
Yeah.
OSW able to just, again, relentless offense and speed, plays to the aggression, and completes the sweep in winners finals to book their ticket into grands.
Yeah, Elio still has a fighting chance here. Gonna be facing the winner of our next match in losers finals, which is gonna be Ringo versus Shark.
So I assume we're probably going to see another Tetris feat Tetris, and then the winner of this set will go on to play the Lone Ranger Puyo, or the last Puyo standing Elio, which obviously was not able to put a dent in OSW's incredible play, but might have a shot in trying to book their way back to grand finals to see if they can get the run back. So I think at this point, we're just going to be waiting on Ringo, Ando, and Shark, which, if my memory serves me well, I believe this is a rematch from Winners Round 3, right before our top 8s. So I guess in layman's terms, Winners Quarterfinals, in which Shark did take the set over Ringo 7-3. And because it is not Losers Finals, I believe we're still in a 1-7... we're in 1-9 because we're in top 8. That's right. That's the that's the current setting here. But so Ringo definitely has some work cut out for her, given their previous set with Shark. Shark obviously having quite a bit of dominance already today, only falling to OSW, but still managing to take a game. Something that many players, even in PPT and Tetrio, have been unable to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, given the recent set that Shark had as well, 9-4 over Void, very very good stuff. But maybe Ringo's recent Tetris game might at least kind of keep her in the right mindset. Not entirely sure, but
yeah, this is gonna be. Well, I say this a lot, but I do think this will be an interesting match. I think every match is gonna be interesting.
I expect this to be a little bit closer. I'm not sure exactly what the set count will look like when the dust is cleared. But I do anticipate this, maybe not as close as the Ringo versus Bunko Boy. But I do see quite a close set happening. And there's the piece.
Ooh, and there's a perfect clear, followed by the S misdraw. It kind of just looks like it's floating there now.
Okay, there's the T-spin double. Actually perfectly cleans up the garbage for Ringo.
Ooh, and there's another T-spin double. There's some clean T-spins going on here into the Tetris. Good efficiency from Ringo here.
Oh,
and look at that, right into a clean Tetris well. Just needs to send some solid stuff.
Oh, I mean,
oh my goodness, Ringo.
But... Also, what was
Ringo with some nice clean garbage. Shark having to deal with a bit of cheese. That is crazy.
The right side of her stack was literally just garbage O's and L's.
Yeah. That was crazy.
I don't know. I've just never seen the stack look like that. It looked like it was like a color palette.
Mm-hmm.
All right, looks like counts to 4. Does get that Tetris. Shark also using the garbage to their advantage.
Yeah, I think Shark's gonna be playing a bit aggressively, a bit efficiently here. Just trying to get Ringo to top out. Yeah.
And with that one,
Ringo being very close to the top of the board there. It was kind of just.
Please, we have early eye, so yep, I presume the TKI opener does go out from Shark.
You can't stop it. It will never die.
At least I presume it will not.
I mean, TKI, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's like one of the most reliable openers. It's quick. It's a quick T-spin double. Like, it's reliable.
What? Was that King Crimson on Shark's board? I mean, they had to bail. It was very unfortunate.
They have to bail, and then there's an O miss drop, and then an L on top of that. And that L is something they're going to have to take for this round.
I have never seen a King Crimson setup that high up on the stack. Like
that's so extremely greedy.
I mean, if it works, it works. But unfortunately, in Shark's case, Ringo was a little bit too quick to punish that.
Yeah, Shark called for King Crimson, and Ringo just called for Regicide.
All right, and some very nice 3-6 play from Shark. Ringo's playing really greedy. Manages to get off the Tetris in time to stay alive.
Ringo's taking a little bit too much time with some of those placements, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, had to try and spend a little bit of brain power on that down stack option, but there wasn't a good one there.
I saw a few pauses on placing that L and that Z, and those were not great times to have that kind of thought. Because, I mean, she was so close to the top of the board there.
Oh, that's greedy. I don't think that's going to be enough.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit too much. Oh, and the OP spawning, just a little too low.
A very oh-no moments on Ringo's board. Shark manages to get their third win. And both going to be starting off with a J.
Yep.
Oh, all clear. There comes Shark.
I'm not sure what Ringo was planning there, actually.
I think there might have been a misdrop to kind of wait and see what happens. I know sometimes players like just kind of giving a second to chill and figure things out.
Mm-hmm. Bit of a pseudo color clear there from Ringo. Opting obviously to T-spin double because color clears don't do anything.
Not yet.
I don't think they're gonna do anything in PPT, Davo.
You never know.
One can
maybe
dream.
maybe we'll get that miracle April Fool's patch or something where it'll be color clears now deal 6 lines of garbage or something.
That would be an interesting change to an official Tetris game, I would say.
I
Adding something
do-
to color clears.
I do remember watching some YouTube content of Tetris play, and I came across a video where it experimented with some of the popular Tetris bots, but they made the color clears do 5 lines of garbage, and it was really interesting to see how the gameplay changed around it.
Speaking of interesting, there was 2 T-spin singles there from Ringo. And kind of continuing that back-to-back streak.
Oh,
the
no!
eye misdrop! No! Oh!
It's 5-2.
that is-
Shark.
The eyepiece misdrop, acting like a beacon, a pillar of shame. You hate to
Looks
see
like-
it.
TKI answers the MS2 from Ringo. Let's see, Shark gonna take a little bit of time.
Well,
before they
technically
send off
potential
the
for a
garbage.
color clear, for an all clear, but I
I mean,
don't
there's
think
always
Ringo opts to
potential for a
take.
color clear.
Oh, but
wow, the greed. I mean, I know
this
there's
is- It's really
It's a
risky, and I don't
rough drop.
think, Ringo's not going to be able to stay in there much longer, unfortunately.
I mean, she almost got the J tuck in there if she would
Yeah.
have a little bit more room on the stack, but
But I mean, with how aggressive Shark was playing, I don't think that would have been 100% possible.
let's see. Yeah, Shark.
Yep,
debating
there it
about
is. There's the
going
perfect
for-
clear.
Okay, interesting, and Shark sends a triple. And while Ringo has quite a low stack at the time being.
Yep, gonna be using this board height advantage to set up an
Ooh.
STSD.
Yeah, and Shark needs to skim in order
And
to
then
get to
here's
the
a down
garbage.
stack. Oh, here's a bit of a combo from Ringo, actually. That's a nice
But
transition
T-spin
right there. But
T-spin
Shark's
double
still
keeps
in
Shark
it.
alive.
Shark's still going through here.
And it looks like Ringo goes for the count of 4, but Shark has an out in time. Oh wow, was that a forecast on top of the dono?
Mm-hmm.
Ringo's still not phased in the slightest. Definitely getting a little bit tricky due to the speed. Okay, it's a lot of garbage for Ringo to deal with.
Oh yeah,
He
there's a
just hit
lot
the
coming in
Tetris.
here. Just barely playing a little too greedy, I feel like. Ringo
Oh, okay.
just at
It's
the
a
top
spin.
there, teetering on the brink of death.
Oh, I
Shark
think that's
still
it,
sending
finally.
some garbage. Oh, Ringo playing a I think that last placement was a little too greedy as well. Could have probably comboed down, but at the same time, I don't think so.
Now, I will say, Ringo has been, I think, one of the strongest defensive players we've seen in a lot of PPT events. I don't know if it's just I haven't been looking for it specifically. Also, very nice.
The
perfect
double
clear.
eye single perfect clear. That is crazy.
I don't know if that's supposed to loop into MS2, but you know what? I guess it does. Why not?
Just let it happen, I suppose.
There's another count to 4. I assume we'll see that T-spin double on top, and it looks like we're gonna have
Yep,
a
there's a
beautiful
cut copy.
Oh, I don't like this eyepiece dependency on Shark's board.
Yeah, and I mean Ringo's gonna be able to take another round there. Still in this, down but not out.
Well, it is
Still
7-3, fittingly enough. This was the set count from prior. However, if Ringo's able to get a little bit more momentum, Shark could be put on the back foot and not have a lot of leeway to
Ooh,
finish
and
things
there's
off.
the perfect clear from Ringo.
Oh, and there's the Zenith drop on Shark's board.
Oh, that's gonna help, I think, for Ringo. I was gonna help.
Oh no, and a misdrop. Misdrop
Oh,
on
that
Ringo's
misdrop.
board.
Oh, that misdrop's gonna
The-
even the playing field.
Yeah, the win condition is no
Oh!
longer there.
That J! Oh, just one Mino too high. Ringo's gonna top out there, unfortunately.
And 8-3. You can see a
Match
really nice,
point.
reliable TKI setup there from Shark. Ringo gets the adaptation play. Not able to get a PC in time. Shark manages to send some garbage over.
Yeah.
Alright, another T-spin single again from Ringo. He seems to really enjoy going for those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's gonna be T-spin triple, or I guess
Okay,
C-spin
there's the
set up
T-spin.
there.
Yeah, it is a C-spin. Counting to 4, getting the Tetris, having another T-spin double to boot, keeping things nice and clean.
Oh, and look how beautiful
look
Ringo's stack
at
was.
that stack. Look at that stack. Look at that garbage. Everything is perfectly aligned for Ringo right now. And look at just sending all that garbage. Going to be able to take another win, closing that gap slowly but surely, coming back from this.
Yeah, Shark
But needs to
did not
keep
have
that
the
win
option.
streak going. There's not much room for error here.
Oh, and Shark goes for the DT cannon. As much as I do enjoy the double triple openers, I don't know if it's gonna be. Well, I guess Ringo does take a little bit of garbage, so the PC is off the table.
Yeah, it was just enough for Ringo to have to not PC.
Let's see, both players upstacking frantically, trying to build some ammunition.
Ooh, Ringo's doing
no!
a lot of right well stacking there. That's very risky right now.
I'm not sure how I like this. There's a weird eyepiece placement for Shark.
Ringo getting another T-spin in, trying to keep that efficiency going. Trying really hard to keep that back-to-back. Constant. Has to cut it off there, but maybe this combo will do something? No, Shark's out of the woods, it seems.
Okay.
Yeah, both players still high up. Ringo getting that Tetris in. Setting up a DT. Having to use a T-piece, though.
Oh,
Shark! Gonna have to stack for your life in order to get it, but the eyepiece! Oh, goodness. That DT was extremely risky, and unfortunately just did not pay off.
Extremely gritty plays from both Shark and Ringo, but at the end of the day,
Oh my goodness.
Shark manages to clutch it out just barely for a 9-4 victory, and Shark will continue their tournament run into losers finals to play the last standing Puyo player, and if they manage to win that, it'll be the last standing Tetris player in their way for a tournament win at Ziodyne.
Yeah. Ringo versus Elio is going to be pretty crazy. Our last Puyo v Tetris match, potentially.
Wait, Ringo?
Oh, wait, nope, my bad. Sorry. My mind was it was that match was so crazy. I got names mixed. My bad.
Although I will say, given the way seeding was, that was our 4 and 5 seed competing for fourths, our kind of top 4 match. So still very impressive stuff. Ringo, able to also outperform on seeding and get that top 4 placement. Very, very well done from her. But now we're down to our final 3 players, and we still have a Puyo that is itching to get into grand finals for a rematch. Actually, in this case, both of these players in losers finals have lost to OSW. So regardless, we're getting a rematch one way or another. This will be our last match before Grands. We've got Shark and Elio.
Elio, being the last bastion of Puyo in this tournament.
So, as far as how things have gone, we have Elio having swept Tetri 7-1 over Void, and then falling to OSW. Obviously, we've seen a little bit of more Shark, given that they went in the losers bracket a little bit earlier on, only losing to OSW, but they picked up wins against Void with 9-4, as well as, I believe, another 9-4 over Ringo. Commando, what are your thoughts going into this for both players?
I'm not 100% sure, actually. Like, it's still very much up in the air, I believe. Shark has been able, Shark, as we've seen, is able to go really strongly against Puyo players, taking out Void literally right before the match versus Ringo. But I mean, Elio still has good Puyo demonstration. It's just that, like, facing OSW is definitely really hard regardless of whether or not you play Puyo or Tetris.
And I think this is going to be a very good match to see whether Elio is a little bit more prepared for the matchup against Shark, or if Shark's relentless offense, again, we can see, combines the Tetrises for those 4 rows of garbage, but Elio was ready to trigger with those reds.
Huge power chains there in the 4.
When that actually does
Shark?
delay Shark by quite a bit in order to send some garbage.
Yeah, Shark's board was a bit awkward there. That was a good time to send some garbage. But Shark, obviously, cleaning it up pretty quickly. Gonna be able to come back from that. Gonna be able to mitigate any other garbage coming in from the Puyo side.
As you mentioned, that like the power 3 just got like completely mitigated. Shark going for the DT. So,
There's the triple. Yeah, just in time, but let's see what Elio's gonna be able to negate that with a 2-chain.
And they're still trying to build up a little bit on the resources. They do get a 3-chain offense time as Shark.
Ooh, and Shark is very close to the top. Elio just needs one good time chain here.
Yeah, Shark is going to be playing.
And Shark is going to be on the defensive, starting to downstack here, trying to take some of that defense and turn it into an offense. There's going to be quite a bit of garbage coming in here.
Look at how many Puyo are on Elio's side. I believe this is going to be most of their resources.
Yeah, this is going to be a good chunk of the board. A nice solid 6-chain. Gonna be enough to take Shark out and take the first round.
Yeah, Elio definitely taking a step up, saying, you know, you may have gotten a very solid showing against Void, but I am not Void. You're going to have to prepare for me specifically if you're going to want to go into Grand Finals.
You're prepared against one Puyo player, but are you prepared against another one?
It sounds silly, like, especially given how, like, Tetris and Puyo, usually it feels a little bit less of, like, you prepare for the player, you just kind of prepare for, like, the gameplay in general.
Ooh,
I think this mixed versus, it is very player dependent.
Ooh, Elio's board state, though, not looking too great here. The only trigger really being the blues.
Yeah, and the garbage is getting in the way of the reds, and that's going to be a lockout. And Shark responds immediately with another win.
Yeah, Shark really taking that to an advantage.
Lots of early reds, although I will say I do like the decision for Elio to go for...
Ooh, there's an all clear right there.
Oh, and Shark, a little bit of a mistap, causes a misdrop. Elio immediately sends the all clear. Not gonna send.
Doesn't seem like that did a whole lot, though.
Yeah, I think because Shark was able to send something a little bit to help mitigate. Didn't do very much.
Just a bit of mitigation.
But it was definitely a very crucial decision for Shark to make and have that ready in time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a little curious
I
where
think
this
definitely seemed like more of a safe play to just.
Ooh, big 3-chain, but Shark is still countering and accepting at the full rock of garbage.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, and especially for the Puyo player, sometimes once the game gets going into mid-game, you don't always have control of where you get to build your chain. You just have to work with your resources wherever they may be. And if Shark is able to provide that, you know, insanely strong sucker punch, there's not a lot of opportunities to survive it.
Yeah.
Looks like Shark now just gonna build on top of everything on the stack.
Ooh, this is gonna be an interesting chain.
Oh, it's a good power 4. Shark does manage to get enough damage.
Shark has really clean garbage though. If he can get down to that well, then like there will be a lot coming in on Elio's end.
Oh yeah, interesting. Not a lot of good places to.
Yeah, and look at this. There's gonna be a bit of a combo. And Shark's gonna continue off of it. Gonna get some more garbage. Gonna be able to continue off of that. Getting up to 10.
This beautiful continuation.
Yeah, gonna wait.
And I think they kind of want to wait it out.
That's 2 rocks. I don't know if is Ellie.
Margin time. This should be a counter, but it's not gonna do a terrible amount. And again, Well, actually, Elio didn't even really spend that many resources building it up.
No, it was like that was like a power 3.
Oh, this is gonna be cutting on both ends.
Oh,
of the
this
board.
is gonna be. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be
We have
massive.
stairs happening on the bottom of Elio's chain. It is more than a full board of garbage.
Wow. Okay. Look at that comeback from Elio.
And I guess, yeah, stairs can kind of work around some garbage, but I have not seen it in a match setting like
Holy
this before. All right, and there's the combo bit from Shark to make sure to get the most out of those Tetrises.
Ooh,
And it looks like they do a bit of cutting.
Yeah, Shark playing really aggressive the first round, and Elio just not able to do anything, especially with those upcoming pieces.
And 3-2, very close.
Yeah, it's a very good back and forth between these two right now.
I mean, and it's not even because like the rounds themselves are taking very long, like we've seen with some of the other matchups. It's just
like they can actually play pretty close. Elio,
and notice that trigger was perfectly placed at the top of their board. Oh,
ooh,
might have spitted another trigger. Can you use a 2-chain? Try to keep open the blue, maybe in column 3, but it's not going to stay alive, and things might start to get buried. They have to be really careful.
This is gonna get a bit rocky. Ooh, getting the purples in just in time, but that's gonna cut, yeah. And that's gonna be another quick round for Shark.
Double purples, double greens. We have an early eye from Shark, but it looks like at this point in time they have no interest in going for a TKI. The double misdrop in the center. You have to be very weary about how they continue to play through this.
Yeah, just needs to try and get something out, but at the same time needs to like set up for those huge attacks. Like here we go. Nice power 4.
Oh, it's a lot of garbage.
Shark has a T-spin at the ready. Oh, that L's not looking great, but manages to skim it with the eyepiece. No, and Elio's board is...
Well...
Oh. Really needed a green.
Oh,
the trigger got cut off. Oh.
Yeah, the Ghost Row Reds will not force a pop.
Yeah, it looks like Shark's starting to get the hang of being aggressive against Elio here. Elio still has a fighting chance, but it looks like Shark's starting to get the upper hand a little bit.
There's a lot of vertical placements that we're seeing out of Elio, and they're also not cutting the Puyos just to make sure they can get as much ammo down on their board as they possibly can before letting this chain rip. That's a big 5. Shark doesn't get sent up the board too much as a result.
Yeah. And then here's a bit of a power 4. Unfortunately, those purples don't really continue off of something. But...
Oh, wow. And the SZ prop from Shark was so beautiful to make sure that dono worked out.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Roll misdrop and the 3 chains coming in. That's a lot of garbage.
Elliot, ooh. Shark really trying to downstack here, but Elio just needs to send like one small thing, and that's gonna be it.
Oh, I don't think Elio's trying to send a small chain. That's a big, beefy 3
just trying to make sure that Shark has no way out of that one. A little bit was the bare minimum, but Elio just wanted to secure it. Like...
And we do not have a 4th color. Okay, finally we see some greens on Elio's side. They took a day off, I guess. This is a lot of garbage.
Ooh, that's a rock.
But
gonna be able to get that.
Every time Elio has set triggers possible on rows, I think, 5, 6, and 7. So regardless of whether it's the 4 lines or a rock, it is possible to be triggered regardless of what Shark sends.
Yeah, really good strategic plays there from Elio. Like, able to just keep everything going despite,
no.
I'm not sure if that was... The Reds don't connect anymore, no.
Oh,
Just
can we
needs
get
one
some
red. Come on, and then the column 3 to add on to it. That is dirty. But like, I mean, with that garbage, I don't think Elio could have really done anything else.
I mean, if they were able to get a pop, I think they had almost like a 3 or 4 chain. I might have misread that just kind of in haste.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right, and it looks like this time we have the early garbage coming out from Shark this time. Okay, and a little bit of an early pop from Elio, but it's a
it's
5
gonna be a
chain. That's all the resources. That's a dangerous game to play as a Puyo player.
But I mean, Elio is placing a bit fast. Gonna be able to get something off.
Oh, they're still accepting
But
garbage.
there's still a lot of garbage coming in from Shark.
See, yeah, they're gonna have to rely on 1 and 2s to try and stay alive until some margin helps give them a little bit of a damage boost.
But Shark playing really aggressively here, and that was a bit of an interesting play. I expected a bit of a chain, but that's...
well, it's hard to build up in this situation. Look at the damage that Shark is sending off.
Yeah, Shark is just being really aggressive right now, and Elio's not going to be able to do a whole lot.
I believe this is an STSD setup, but Shark has to spend a T.
Oh, I think...
Is there a trigger for Elio?
Elio taking a little bit too long on that one, I think.
We can at least trigger the greens into a 2-chain.
At least trigger the greens. Yeah, get that 2-chain off. Gonna be able to get another 2-chain. Finally getting down to those yellows and blues down, like, at the bottom, but...
Oh, that's a lot of...
Oh, there we go. There's a nice power 3. Finally gonna be able to activate it.
Yeah, and I think Margin Time is gonna really start amping up. Has to be really careful with the garbage that gets sent over. Needs the blues to trigger, and the purples might connect on extra credit. It looks like most. Still 2 chains, but a lot of materials on the side that aren't really well connected. This is a really hard spot for Elio to continue chaining through.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a...
Oh, that's a nice blue there. That's gonna get a power 3 in. Gonna be able to send a little bit there.
Oh, we're in max margin time, and you can see
we're
Shark knows this is comboing through, but
there's a huge power 3. Shark gonna be able to mitigate some of that, but you know, Elio still needs to send something here.
Yeah, but the 1-chains are doing a really good counter work.
Yeah, they're doing like they're really doing just enough to get like to get back over. All right, and then there's a 4-chain. And Shark scores the top. Elio's gonna be able to take that. Margin Time really being on his side there. Oh, and I already see the all clear.
And all clear that most people will also be able to spot, regardless of who your familiarity.
See, you forgot to understand, Davo, that I'm not good at Puyo.
Did I ever do that? Nah.
I don't know. With that statement.
Oh, double 3 into 4 from Elio.
Yeah.
Obviously, the margin time is nowhere near as strong as it was a mere 20 seconds ago in the last round.
Oh yeah, and Shark has a lot of his own clean stack to work off of here.
Oh, but the 4-chain from Elio.
4-chain. It's gonna take up all of his resources, but.
Oh, and Shark once again goes for the T-spin and Tetris.
Oh, huge garbage, but. Oh, yeah, there we go. Elio able to keep that trigger.
Keeps it alive as well. It's an awkward.
There's not much there.
Stack. They need some reds, but it looks like they're gonna get them in time.
Yeah, gonna be able to at least get a 3 here. A little bit of a power.
It's not a really good stack underneath, though. They're gonna have to do some really smart solving to try and make some resources connect. Able to do so with the reds. And now let's open things up a little bit. Midway up on their board. The 1-chain almost entirely counters a full row of garbage now with this margin time starting to kick in.
Yeah. Look at that.
A lot of good counter work there from Shark. Oh, the power 1 Thorn did quite a bit, and it looks like another Thorn But Shark is still
Oh,
going.
Shark has so much built up. Gonna get
That is
set
a
2
full
whole rock.
And
Oh, gonna
Elio-
be able to. Still has a
Elio
trigger
manages
ready,
to get the trigger.
and that's
and
gonna
get the
cancel
3
out.
chain off.
Yeah,
Incredibly greedy
Elio's
play,
still
but
in it. Shark is
trying to
really
match
trying.
these
Oh,
T-spins. Oh,
Yeah,
oh, we're in
but
max margin time. We're in max margin time once again. Shark sets
Yep,
up the
there's a
DP
power to-
cannon.
but that's too greedy with how much Elliot was sending. Oh my goodness.
And very well timed, cashing on all the resources when they knew it was enough. Brings it back to within 1. What is this color sequence we get from Elio? So many purples, and the greens and blues having a little bit of a late pass to class. Oh, they need to trigger purple soon.
Oh yeah, they need to trigger purples, but there it is. Right in the nick of time.
Oh, it's still not out of the woods.
It's still not, not out of the woods, but...
There's a lot getting buried right now.
Oh, yeah,
They
and
need greens.
and these colors are just not being kind at all. Oh, and the green's coming so late.
Oh, they do get a 3
Oh,
chain.
that's the good
Oh, wait,
chain.
that's
That's a
actually
4.
full.
That's actually a huge chain. Oh my goodness.
Gonna
be able to send quite a bit over.
in and around town to pull off that chain.
Oh my goodness. What the?
That is one where you quite literally like I've made some references before of like the full screen chain, but usually that's kind of you have one pattern, then you go down a level, and then you have another pattern. That just knocked everything out of the park from all directions.
It's so hard to read the cascades when garbage gets in the way. And I mean, I think that's like solid proof of that for at least someone
I
like
don't even
me.
know how you see that.
Like that's just crazy. And speaking of crazy, that chain. Just a lot of Puyas being cleared right now.
Notice once again, Elio builds really tall on the right side. They're able to get a ton of resources down.
Oh, but that's all. Oh, just needs the blues.
Where's the blue? Where's
Just
the blue?
needs a blue. There's a blue. Okay, gonna be able to get it.
Comboing through gave them a little bit of time.
Oh, but it's.
But we do
Oh,
have some good Puyas
this is
away.
not a great situation right now for Elio.
Oh, they open up the reds.
Oh, they open up the reds. They're gonna be able to chain off of that. They're still
and
in this game.
I think the one deciding factor that kept them alive, Shark kept going for the combo when Elio was at death's door.
Yeah,
We do have max margin
Should've
time
sent-
kicking in.
Yeah, max margin times here.
Oh, and it's a misdrop on Shark's board. This is not great.
And Elio with a nice power 3, gonna be able to. Oh, yeah, no.
That's line 21. Anything touching that fully
Yeah,
over
that's
is
just
going to
lockout.
lockouts.
Fantastic performance from Elio here, tying it up 6-6. What a comeback!
And once again, Elio builds up really tall on the 4, 5, and 6 columns. Shark goes for a little bit more damage. They're comboing into it. And both players now going to have to see if they can stall this out.
Yeah.
Elio just launches a little bit of greens, able to get some more materials down. I'm not sure what the trigger is. I'm going to guess it's the yellows.
yellow. Yeah.
Oh, it's not
gonna
even
be
the full chain, it's just a 3.
It's gonna be a 3, and that counters.
What is the trigger here?
Oh,
There's a lot of garbage coming in.
looks like it's a purples, but it's gonna be like has to do something with the blues, right?
I guess it's greens now, maybe? Greens trigger? Oh, the greens stay
well,
online.
greens have to trigger.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, just getting a bunch of 1 chains to like keep himself alive. Oh, and then that gets cut
I
off.
think it's curtains.
Yeah. Ugh.
It was definitely a very precarious situation with Elio.
Yeah, it was
almost full chain ready.
that was such a toss up. I was like, oh, and then there's a nice
The
all
one
clear.
chain all clear. Not sure if Elio's gonna launch this early or late. I believe given Shark going for these T-spins, Elio's not gonna try and hold on to it as long as possible.
Yeah, Elio's kind of just biding his time here.
Oh, actually,
Gonna be
sends
sending
up
a nice little
over on
2
the
chain.
side.
Oh, might try to just catch Shark off guard. I think with how high
Oh
the
wow!
stack was. And there's a
chain going on both
look
the
at
left
that.
and the right.
That's a nice 5.
Yeah, Shark was gonna try and tank that, but realized it was so much garbage they didn't have that option.
Just had to start clearing, cash out the garbage that they had already built up.
Oh, okay. There's
and there's a 4.
Elio.
Gonna be sending quite a bit over.
Yeah, Shark able to get that Tetris. Gonna skim a little bit on some doubles. Meanwhile, Elio with a 4.
A nice 4.
Again, Shark just needs to find a way to get down while also keeping up with this damage pressure, but it's not going to be easy. They're already on the back foot as they receive another 3. And
oh my god, this is so tense. I'm like trying to figure out what exactly.
Beautiful donation from Shark.
Yeah, Shark having some really good plays here despite the circumstances. Gonna have to accept a little bit more garbage from Elio. Elio continuing to just get a few small chains off.
Oh, and that
I feel like that was a good amount of resources used.
Shark is not able to get some of these Tetrises the way they wanted to.
And that garbage cascading down to get a 3-chain off from Elio.
Every time Shark finds an out, Elio finds a strong 3 to force Shark back up to the top of their board.
Yeah, it almost feels Sisyphean to a point. But and Elio has to take a lot of garbage there. And the column 3. Bringing Shark up to match point. Can Elio get 3 more wins to keep himself in the game?
The Osu Deuce is denied 8-6. Shark needs 1 more. I'm gonna guess that was a misdrop. It looks a little bit too floaty for my liking.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely
sure. They're gonna work around it. Yeah, Shark's gonna start working around that.
At least has a little bit of combo play that they're able to work with, but I mean, look at the resources on Elio's board right now. This is probably
Elio's gonna be able to get a pretty substantial chain off of this. Power 5.
Okay, and Shark not able to send garbage immediately. This is not a good spot to be in. Gets to the double, finally starts sending some over.
All right, the double 3 into 4. Gonna be able to send quite a bit of garbage. Shark has a lot of down stacking to do here.
Well, T-spin none, but does get the Tetris.
You know, quite a bit of garbage coming in on Elio's board.
Oh, what is this play from Elio?
Oh, what is this? His board state. Oh, no! I think playing a little too greedy there.
I mean, definitely the greed earlier on, especially during the middle of that set, was working out for Elio, but was not the right play, especially on match point when your back is against the wall.
At the disadvantage match point. Oh,
it's a scary place to be. I mean, we've had some players that have done some really good comebacks on the brink of defeat.
Yeah, seriously.
It is not an easy place to be. You have to very carefully manage your greed because you can't just give up a game trying to go for that play.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it looks like Shark has come out on top for the OSW rematch. Elio, for our top Puyo finisher tonight at Ziodyne, is going out at 3rd from Losers Finals, but a very respectable showing against Shark.
Yeah, pretty solid. Solid performance.
Besides Ringo and Bunkle Boy, I believe that was our closest that we've seen on stream tonight.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That was a really close, really solid match.
And I guess
kind of going back and forth a lot more than I would initially expect it to.
And given the mixed versus matches that we have had of Puyo versus Tetris, that was our closest set. Mm-hmm. And definitely, from my perspective, was very thrilling to watch.
Indeed. But yeah, I mean, that's the end of all 3 Puyo players in top 8. But I mean, still fantastic performance from all of them.
I mean, obviously, given the way things have panned out, we are now on to our grand finals match as we've got OSW and Shark in our top 2 spots.
Indeed. OSW versus Shark, I think, is a bit of a familiar matchup in other tournaments, in other games.
I mean, if we just look as well with OSW's performance, had a sweep in their first round, 7-1 against Bunko Boy, 9-1 against Shark, and 9-0 against Elio. Quite literally has not lost a set, even if they count all of their losses in our top 16 brackets. Just absolutely incredible play from them. And like for Shark, it's an uphill battle to say the least, but they've had 3 very dominant wins coming up in losers bracket to make it to this point, even besting Elio, who made it to winners finals. So perhaps that little spring in their step might be what they need to start pulling those chains against OSW.
Yeah, indeed. I think we're just waiting on both players to get ready here.
This will be our potentially our last set of the night with bracket reset. Might be our second to last.
Yeah, and I believe we're first to 11.
I believe that is the rule change inbound. Yes. So we'll be a little bit.
We'll have quite a bit here. Like if these players go extremely like toe to toe. Ooh, starting off with a J misdrop though from Shark.
It looks like.
I'll be honest, it's kind of weird seeing just Tetris v Tetris now.
It's okay. Manages to work their way down to the garbage, but OSW has been doing a fair bit of upstacking and has quite a bit of combo play ready.
Yeah, and that's a huge combo. OSW is going to be able to just take care of Shark that first round, no problem.
And be just perfectly calculated for that damage. Knew it was going to secure the top out. The upstacking was as much as they needed.
And there's a Trinity from OSW. Okay.
I really like that. I haven't seen a lot of players besides OSW go for that.
Oh, but that's an L. That's an L placed in the wrong spot that OSW is going to have to deal with later down the line.
Yeah, would have needed to sacrifice that STSD following the Trinity follow-up. But
yeah, I mean, could have easily used it for like boomerang.
I have not seen a lot of players go for the Trinity follow-up after that first TST. I feel like OSW has really been the only player that I know of that's been going for it time and time again.
It is a bit of a greedy setup because you really have to kind of gun for that not only second but third TPs. And if those come late in the bag, you're holding on to an STSD that is just like kind of sitting there, kind of just being a liability.
A lot of garbage, and Shark has no way of propping up that C-spin.
Yeah, indeed. OSW taking quick work of that.
Early eyes from both, but it looks like they're gonna end up going to. Oh.
Oop!
Is that a misdrop? Too? Maybe. Oh.
Yeah, there's a misdrop on OSW's board, and kind of stopped to try and deal with it, but that moment of hesitation gave Shark a perfect clear.
Yeah, and OSW needs to be really careful at this point. Does get the spin in to make sure.
Oh, that OP's still in it. It's not the end yet.
They hadn't used their
counting the full very, very high up. I would have.
They had a hold left, didn't they? Or were they just like
I think they did. It's very interesting. I was gonna say I think they could have just held to like play a bit safe, but no, they decided to go a bit riskier for what seemed like no payoff. But I mean, OSW is still in the game, so gonna be using an S spin.
All right, and had the option to count for 4, but opts against it in order to get down to their garbage.
Yep.
Oh, Shark though able to tank some more garbage.
Ooh, there's a C spin at the ready. Gonna be able to tank it. Gonna be able to keep going. OSW very close to the top of the board. Things are looking a little precarious.
Man, look at that manages combo and fought off effortlessly from OSW. So many T-spins.
Goodness, that efficiency really paid off so high up. Everything went perfectly there for OSW.
On the skim as well. Man,
Keeping it
OSW
going,
is having to make so many airtight decisions.
OSW really looking cool out here.
Oh, but
the
follow-up is going to be enough.
Yeah. Nice follow-up from Shark there.
You can see he's
Keeping
rolling
things-
the points thing as well. 124k to OSW's just under 100,000. Shark is in no way, shape, or form getting outclassed by OSW's efficiency.
No, not at all.
And I think by the set count of 2-2, it is definitely showing that they came to play tonight.
Yeah. Starting off, OSW's a bit on the back foot here. Pretty high up on the board, but going to be able to still downstack pretty efficiently, keeping that back-to-back going with these nice T-spins and the occasional Tetris. And Shark quickly being brought up to his level, but that Z misdrop might be throwing a wrench in OSW's plans, and indeed causes him to top out early, giving Shark another quick win.
It's 3-2, and this is the first time OSW has not had the lead in a set count.
Yeah.
I believe all tournaments.
But here we are, breaking new ground despite it being almost over. OSW ready for the perfect clear, going to be able to send actually nothing with how Shark mitigated it.
Yeah, I think OSW initially was going to go for the PC solve on top. It's actually almost still there, if the given how that was.
There's a cut copy from OSW.
Yeah, and so now they've got to work with the 5-4 stack currently in the center.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Shark
OSW.
starting back with combo play. Misdrops the combo.
Shark has a nice T-spin on top. Might follow it up with a bit of a combo.
Oh,
Indeed.
but look at the beautiful double T-piece there on OSW's Q. He's gonna try and pull these chains.
Oh, a bit. Look at this. Look at this
Beautiful
combo down stack. Up to 9, 10, 11.
It's gonna keep going.
12. Yeah, that's gonna be too much, I think, for Shark to handle. OSW coming back with just a tour de force there.
Yeah, definitely some very impressive foresight that we saw from OSW in order to ensure that combo. There are a lot of different ways they could have tried to make that work where it was a little bit less efficient in the short term, but OSW having that ability to see what's in their next queue, what is going to work out better for me to continue this combo, because the longer you can bring a combo in PPT, it is going to make many dividends upon dividends if you're able to keep pulling it off.
Yeah, that combo table is extremely... What? What's OSW doing there?
There's a couple misdrops.
I'm hoping those are just misdrops. I don't... But OSW is working around him pretty solidly. Doesn't have the room, though, to deal with what Shark's been giving him.
Yeah, and so Shark maintains a lead 4-3, able to punish these misdrops from OSW almost every time they happen.
Yeah, and now OSW going for straight sprint. 6-3 stacking here.
Yeah, so Shark went for the MS2. Is going to take a lot of garbage. See if they can work through it to some clean.
Yep.
At the very least, able to get a little bit of a mini combo plus the Tetris.
And OSW going for a bit of a combo here, up to 6. Using a T-piece to create a T-spin there. And
that's
going to be enough.
Yeah, and I definitely
if that didn't kill Shark, I think that Z might have caused problems.
Yeah, Shark almost had a way out, but unfortunately the line clear delay required them to take a lot of singles for it to make sense, and it was not in the most fortunate of situations to be at that liberty.
OSW with a bit of a J-tuck.
Goes for the fractal. Actually
Gets
gonna
both
cash
T-spins
out
off.
immediately.
Ooh.
So greedy!
Oh, that was extremely greedy. Maybe tense up a little bit.
Oh, they don't have
I don't think OSW does OSW have the room to deal with this? I don't think so, no.
Just enough garbage from Shark, and it's 5-4. Has been managing
a lot
to
of
keep
back and
toe-to-toe
forth,
with
but it's
OSW.
also going by, like, this is going by really quickly and a lot of back and forth, like.
Oh, okay, and we see yet another T-spin.
Oh, but the T-spin misdrop.
It's not out of the woods, but
yeah, gonna be able to recover from that a little bit, but that's definitely gonna put Shark at the disadvantage.
Oh,
or not.
Not able to get a Tetris, but the garbage is very clean for Shark right now. I don't think
OSW has a lot to deal with. Gonna be able to start down stacking here though. Gonna be keeping those back-to-backs going. Gets the T-spin triple off. Mini T-spin single to keep that going, and there's another T-spin double waiting for him right there.
Oh, have to be a little careful with that misdrop, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Shark does
OSW's
not
gonna
have
be
too
able to
many
tie
good
it up
outs.
once again. These players just going back and forth a lot.
Yeah, and there's the sprint. Once again, we see it going out from OSW.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be 6-3 is just a little bit more comfortable for the time being. Sets up a fractal. Shark is not going for the all clear. Alright, has a little bit of donut with that O. Intentionally delays.
Yep, gets
Not
that
sure
T-spin double, frees up that little hole in the stack. Oh, I was expecting a kite on or something, but I guess that...
help out with that. OSW also needs to be careful. Very high up on the stack.
Yeah, both players very high up. Like, one bad piece
What is
misdrop
the
like
place-
that, and things could be in serious danger. But OSW still sticking around, still in this game.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Oh,
that's a little too
but
much
that's
there.
going to be a little bit too... That's going to be just enough to top him out. Shark taking the lead once again.
Yeah,
Shark is
6-5
really giving OSW a run for his money here.
They are not letting OSW get any sort of momentum, just holding on as tightly as they can to this lead. Again, even if it's only between 1 and an even set, all you need is a lead of 1 in order to bring it to bracket reset. And we see there's another Trinity from OSW, combines it with the Tetris to try and push Shark up on this board. However, Shark does get to the garbage in time. OSW needs to find a good sucker punch here.
Yeah, there's the Tetris. Gets another back-to-back here. Players about even on board height. OSW has nice clean access to the well, but misdrops one of the eye pieces. Gonna have to use some other pieces to start down stacking. Get a bit of a two-wide combo going.
For Shark. Team misdrop for Shark could bring this advantage.
Yeah, but that
back to OSW.
floating's gonna keep him a little bit in this game still.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
Shark
things
is
are so dicey for both of these players
there's
right
combo.
now.
Shark
But there's
has
a combo for Shark. OSW needs to do something about that, and that team misdrop certainly isn't going to help. Yeah, and Shark
brings
gonna
the
be able to
lead.
capitalize on that, and thanks to that clean well.
And that's a lot of 8s on screen right now. I think there's at least 8 too many. And Shark...
Wow, that is a lot of 8s, yeah. That was too many.
If anyone wanted a great results screen, make sure to screenshot that, because I don't know if we're ever going to see the stars align like that again.
Yeah, really. That just goes to show how close that was again. Like, those two were... The fact that those two were that close is crazy.
Oh, and another misdrop from
Oh,
OSW.
an L misdrop.
We have not seen a lot of players punish OSW's misdrops very well, just because of how fast...
Oh,
they're
and look at
able to
this
get to it.
greed!
How do you
TST
find the solve?
Well, how do people just find TST towers like that? That's so crazy to me.
Oh,
Just
but
shows kind of how how much on a different. Oh, and the S misdrop. That greed did not pay off. Shark now 3 points ahead, but I mean OSW still has a little bit of breathing room. It is first to 11, not first to 9.
Yeah, but OSW in the entirety of Ziodyne has not been this far behind in a set. This could.
No, OSW is slipping up a little bit.
Yeah, and there's another misdrop.
Oh,
be really careful.
Yeah.
This could spell doom if they're not able to. Okay, yeah, they're gonna have to be very, very careful playing defense. Shark has a lot of leeway. Oh, they grieve.
Shark's board's looking a little bit dicey. Has to do a lot of single clears.
Oh, the combo fight.
And then there's the combo coming in, but it's not gonna last much longer. I think OSW still. Oh, that eye dependency is telling me otherwise.
That's a lot of eye dependency.
Oh, and that's a very
stacking.
Oh my goodness, that was such a. How do you? How?
Oh, but look at Shark's garbage right now. OSW.
Yeah, Shark has access to a well following this T-spin single.
Oh no, OSW misreads the T-spin.
Oh, and OSW misdrops the S. Looks like Shark's starting to run away with this round. We might see a bracket reset.
It is 4 straight from Shark in first to 11. Has won the first to 9. Only needs 2 more. And we have not seen OSW on match point before. This is going to be uncharted territory for Ziodyne.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay. OSW has a very good 6-3 well. Shark able to combo through a little bit to try and keep some garbage, but OSW sees the opportunity, fires away with some T-spins.
Yeah.
I think that's another. That's gonna be a top
Oh,
out.
that's gonna be. Oh, that's just so barely. That's just barely
it's not
in.
enough, but
It's not gonna be
it
enough.
buys enough time. And OSW pulls another win, tries to claw back some momentum. This might be the push that they need to bring it back against Shark.
Is that the inch that OSW will turn into a mile?
I mean, hey, you never know. OSW's pulled off some shenanigans before.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very familiar with OSW shenanigans. That absolutely might be the little push that he needed.
And opts not to go for the Tetris just yet. There's the double eye piece, but still doesn't cash out on the Tetrises immediately in favor of this downstack combo.
Oh, there was a side 4-wide there, and I kind of hate that my mind immediately gravitated towards it. But, I mean, I don't feel as bad because OSW is starting to do it.
Well, we'll see. Is OSW
taking advantage of that side ties here?
Oh, not going to be able to get a Tetris, but still very strong 8-chain. Sets up beautifully for a C-spin. Shark does
It's that second T-spin double in. Shark's still in it, trying to set up for another T-spin, I think, but, you know, it's not a great board state. OSW starting to close that gap.
Yeah, the O only had about 2 places it could have gone, and it would have, I think, all but one option would have closed off the next well Shark needed to get down through.
Yeah, there's not a lot of good places, but, like, some places just help you delay the inevitable a bit more. Both players about same height on the board.
Ooh, OSW gonna have some really nice combo. Gets a Tetris at the 4 stage. Looks to set up for that C-spin. There it is. We do see it show up. Finally, the T-pieces go in. I'm not sure if OSW is gonna try to combo this through. Shark needs some defense now.
Yeah, Shark needs to needs to do a counterattack, something.
OSW!
Right. And OSW playing a bit greedy here. Oh, and the Jameis drop.
The 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out on OSW's board. Shark is at 10 wins and is on advantage.
This is reset point here. Like, we can see a reset.
I get it. I want to watch too. I want to.
I'm just speechless with how well Shark's been doing right now. OSW has to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, I know the Shark as well delayed the last hit of their combo to make sure they didn't accept too much garbage from OSW.
Yeah. But, I mean, Shark's already high up on the board here. OSW just needs to get a good attack in.
Oh, okay. Oh, my goodness, Shark playing extremely greedy, but they have the leeway to do so, being the player that's on advantage points.
Yeah. OSW here is at the bottom of the board and going to be able to deal with it very nicely. Continue to play aggressively to take that next point. OSW is trying his best to come back right now.
It's 8 to 10. I mean,
Three more wins.
Where we were at the set, but it was like, what, 5 to 9, I think?
Mm-hmm.
At that rate, if OSW is able to take the same amount of games, they could, at the very least, push it to a game 21. Oh, but that's very high up on the board. I don't know how much they're going to be able to get from this combo down stack. Both players need to get access to their garbage immediately.
Yeah, OSW is probably going to get quick access to that first, popping it off with a Tetris.
Oh my goodness, the T-piece comes a little early for OSW.
Yeah.
Can't quite get a T-spin out of that board.
But gets a T-spin a little bit later, though. It's still going to be able to send a bit more garbage than usual.
Oh, is that an ID?
Oh, this board state's looking a bit dicey. Oh, but just in time for another T-spin.
T-spin single into the Tetris.
Into the
Works
two
her way
back-to-back
down.
Tetrises.
Might be able to take a little bit of a breath for the time being, but still, it's on match point. You don't want to let off on the gas.
Yeah, no, you have to give it your all here. Like, your effort needs to be just to the maximum.
And you can see both players are airtight with their scores of just now getting over around 80,000 points. Entering T-spins for T-spin, Tetris for Tetris. OSW
Oh, a
has...
bit of a misdrop turns it into an Imperial Cross. But stacking up
some more... We need a lot of T-spins.
Oh, you need
There's a lot...
That was a little greedy there, OSW. And that misdrop.
Oh, that's a misdrop. This could be
Oh,
fatal.
that could be the end of this.
Oh, OSW needs
and that's gonna be too much. Shark is going to reset this. We're gonna get a bracket reset, everybody. Oh my goodness.
There were only 2 1s in the loss chart for OSW in the entirety of Ziodyne, and funnily enough, that still happens in grand finals, but that is a total of 11 from Shark as we go to bracket reset. And so now
this is unbelievable.
Player, whichever it is, true finals first to 11.
Yeah, here we go. We're going straight into it. That's how PPT2 works. Oh, and that's that's not a great start. That's not a great start with that S misdrop.
Especially against the MS2, you know that the garbage from the PC.
Oh, the perfect clear is coming in. You know it's coming.
And the DPC as well. OSW needs to find a way.
Oh, okay.
Does send some garbage in time.
Gonna be able to keep it going.
And there's the color clear from Shark.
Yeah, I am sweating bullets right now. Like, this is so unbelievably tense. Shark coming back from all of that.
Well,
having to deal with 2 Puyo players.
Oh,
OSW with the
color clear.
yeah, the Tetris color clear. So satisfying to watch. Unfortunately, doesn't do it any extra damage. But look at that, the combo leading into an open well. OSW is going to block it off with a few T pieces.
Oh no! Misdropped! At least I think it was.
I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, OSW dealt with it perfectly fine. Shark definitely playing aggressive here. OSW on the ropes, still too much for him to handle. Shark continuing this win streak here against OSW. Taking the first round of true finals.
Alright, we're going back to some more MS2. Let's see, OSW after returning to it. We do see
OSW getting the perfect clear. Going to be able to send a good amount of garbage over to Shark. And that's some pretty messy garbage. But Shark's going to... Oh, Shark's going to be able to find a good down stack here.
Look at this. We're going to make their way
Look at this combo. Up to 8, 9, even 10.
Yeah, that's a top out.
That was a wonderful counterattack from Shark. Oh my goodness.
Shark intentionally took that PC, knew it was on the way, and then just was
managed to like read the garbage perfectly from there on.
That
was like unbelievably fantastic from Shark.
Oh no, Z misdrop though. We'll see. Is
OSW going to be taking advantage of this as much as humanly possible because I mean,
misdrop is all it takes against OSW, and immediately pulls another win to their side.
Yeah, there was an
advantage.
There was an opening, and OSW absolutely just took it. That's what the O in OSW stands for. All the openings he takes advantage of.
Oh, I mean, we could say that, but.
Oh, and look at that! Look at that well! That's criminal! What is that crap? Oh my goodness! What even? What even?
We took a trip through all 50 states, but we missed Wisconsin. There is no Swiss cheese in sight as OSW pushes Shark up, misses the timing, unfortunately. This is going to give Shark an opening to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Shark...
This is, oh boy, the combo will keep Shark alive.
Yeah, this combo, like... Oh, didn't... opted to not continue it. I guess that would have put him in a worse state compared to just, stacking normally.
Oh boy, OSW.
Oh no. Oh no, SW.
Oh my
But actually, oh my goodness, manages to survive that.
Finds a win condition and executes it perfectly.
Holy smokes, what is going on here?
This is quite, I mean...
This is
one of the grand finals of all time, but it's like not even the this is just quite literally one of them.
This is some fantastic stuff, honestly.
Oh wow, this is a very quick damage spike from OSW.
Yeah, Shark almost immediately topping out there, but able to just find a way out.
Okay, and OSW continues to go through, has a bit of a... converts over to a sidewall for the time being. Looking for a clean transition to get through the garbage. Manages to get a Tetris at the same time.
There's a nice C-spin thanks to the garbage from on OSW's side.
Perhaps we'll see a forecasted Finn. I don't think so.
Gonna spend a little time of talking that L piece in, but looks like OSW is gonna take another L this match.
I believe they went for the skill stop trying to get that Tetris in, but unfortunately it did not pan out for them.
No, it did not at all.
Oh, a little misdrop there from OSW. Gonna get a mini T-spin single to start building up back-to-back.
Yeah, just a little bit of...
And Shark, look at these donos!
Donos for days, call them a charity. Oh my goodness.
We need to save this for next week.
That is true.
Oh, and a beautiful...
Oh, that's a risky T-spin overhang, but OSW managed to make it pay off.
The fact that OSW managed to downstack from there with just T-spins is absurd.
Like,
why are we still building T-spins? Why are we still getting away with this?
T-spins make the world go round, it seems. And OSW really playing greedy here.
I mean, they kind of have to, but it's that they're still managing to pull this off. T-spin double is the option.
Oh, and then there's a T-spin double donation. Keeping this in the Tetris. Continuing to downstack. Nice count to forward. Keep that and opens that well right up. Has another T-spin at the ready. Shark still in this, though. Things are looking really dicey, though. But Shark looks like he's finding the way out. Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh my goodness, the back and forth between these two players is insane.
Oh, Shark does manage.
Oh, but I think Shark might be reaching the end of the rope here.
Yeah, they go for the T-spin. OSW
Tetris. Oh, Tetris is still there. Gonna be able to get a small combo going.
Do you have enough of a spike? I don't think they do. And Shark's able to live.
And Shark's able to continue this. This is the most intense back and forth I've seen so far.
Oh my! And
OSW is gonna cut it. Oh goodness, tying it up 3-3.
Shark was
what
playing
is this?
Ringo, like, Shark was playing defense like Ringo was earlier. A deficit of almost 50,000 points was finally what it took for OSW, of all players, to be able to solidify a win.
All right, going into that Trinity there. Are we going to see the third T-piece in time? And we are. But I'm not sure how much of a benefit that gives OSW.
Well, there's some good combo play that's happening. OSW's going to try and time this, but I don't know what the downside
here's a bit of a combo going on. Catching Shark at an inopportune time.
And OSW, for the first time since last set 2-1, regains a lead. Looks like we're going to be going MS2 to MS2 once again. And I believe the all clear is there for OSW. Shark manages to live just on the brink of defeat. But there's not a really good combo follow-up that they have. Might be able to work their way through a little bit of garbage, but OSW has some misdrops that will buy Shark some time. And it might even buy Shark a win? No? Okay. OSW manages to find a way down.
Yeah, Shark's board not looking the greatest, and OSW can absolutely take advantage of that, but looks like it's not necessary because of that O misdrop. Oh, Shark just had no great place to put that O, but
And just, yeah, 5-3. This is incredible. But OSW, like, surprisingly, this is the first time OSW's had a lead of more than 2, even though prior to this set in Grands, they had only dropped 2 games at all.
yeah. OSW is getting, like, I think a run for his money here. It's quite a bit.
Questionable to put that eyepiece over on the right side for OSW and not cash out a little bit sooner. But at the very least, they do have a very nice down stack, almost getting a color clear on the way down. But there's a miss.
Oh yeah, Shark trying to set up a T-spin that doesn't exist.
Skim singles.
Still in?
20.
How? What?
If you skim,
I mean, not in there for much longer.
Board, it'll work.
Still delay the inevitable by a good amount.
Almost find an outlet. 6-3.
6-3, like the freestyle stack.
And I think OSW has definitely found a little bit of that stride they're looking for in terms of the MS2.
Yeah, and there's a color clear. Shark getting a nice forecast there with a T-spin double.
Looks like OSW planning for that 7-2. Well, it's a little bit dicey. 3 combo into the Tetris, but Shark manages to time perfectly to avoid any further issues.
Oh, that misdrop spelling doom for Shark that round. OSW taking another round, widening that gap 7-3. 4 more, and OSW can finally take the win.
Yeah, I think definitely OSW has found their stride a little bit and seeming to try and pull their weight as much as they possibly can. Decides not to go for the all-clear this time around. Has a lot of garbage prepared as they set up for the T-spin triple tower, but bails immediately upon seeing what Shark has waiting.
Yeah, realized that grid would not have paid off here. Bit too much of a gamble.
This is the
interesting overhang there. I think that was just a misdrop. But I mean, yeah, OSW managing it pretty well.
7
But
combo
there's
from
a
Shark.
lot that Shark is sending in. Let's see what combos OSW can pull off here.
Yeah, has
Instead of opting for the T-spins.
to end it.
Oh, that Z misdrop!
Oh, but
That
Shark,
might Shark topping out there. OSW was.
I think that was a misdrop into a greedy play from Shark, and all it needed was just one solid hit from OSW to take it.
Either player was one hit away from just losing there, and looks like OSW was a bit more fortunate on winning that fight.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
A little bit of some Ren gaming. Working with a bit
Oh,
of...
there's
pseudo
quite a bit on
side.
Shark's side. Gonna have to do a bit of comboing here to stay alive. No! OSW sending way too much.
And just in very quick succession, OSW has turned this game from a 1 to 2 point game into a 6-point lead. First to 11, mind you.
Two more wins, and then, well, that's game.
I mean, we'll have to see if OSW is able to continue to quickly make work of this bracket reset.
Oh, but Shark's looks like Shark's trying to get some quick retaliation in. OSW has some T-spins at the ready to cancel that out, though. Keeping this going, OSW keeping up that pressure. A lot is being sent in on Shark's board. That S is gonna have to... Yeah, that S piece is going to waste some time.
There are some skims available for Shark, but there's nowhere near enough time to go through them.
OSW on championship point.
Might have taken a reset to get there, but that's why we play from winner's side. And it's one game away. Shark is going to need to have the run of their lives as they did.
Oh, and the perfect clear.
Almost an instant top out, but they are
almost an instant kill, but Shark's still going to be able to stay in this. OSW really bringing in the pressure here. Shark has got to turn this around quickly.
Well, and Shark doesn't have really good garbage to work with. Oh, there's not a good way to get through.
OSW just needs one good finishing blow, but still stacking a bit too much, giving Shark a good chance to get out. Going to be able to find a bit of a combo here, but... Oh, greeting for the STSD. That's a bit risky, especially given the situation. Opts for a T-spin single instead, follows it with a bit of a combo.
Oh, but when your back's against the wall, there's not a lot of better options. And
Shark finds a way out in a bit of a safer situation. But Shark has to do a lot more than stay safe in order to get OSW out of here and make a comeback in this game.
Alright, and OSW looks to be comboing through at the time being. Misdrops an S. And that one misdrop could seal the deal with this beautiful combo.
And that Tetris! Shark taking it back. Still has to come back from a huge deficit here. 10-4. Needs to get 7 wins in a row. That is a bit of a tall order. But, I mean, we've seen Shark come back.
OSW almost got a double perfect clear before Shark finishes the MS2. Seems to have worked out pretty nicely for them. There's the spike.
Oh, on the verge of death. This could be it for Shark. Shark greeting with the floating T-spin. Oh, I think maybe taking a little bit too much time here.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to deal with these clears. That might be too much. That's going to be it. OSW taking it back after the reset. Your Ziodyne winner. OSW winning 11-4 on the bracket reset. Congratulations.
And I believe one of the most impressive showings I've seen from Shark as well. Obviously, they've definitely
Shark has
a name for themselves in the guideline scene. I mean, proficient enough in Tetrio needs no explanation. But
yeah, seriously, like OSW
TPC events has started to make some waves. And after a performance like that, one of the guideline's greatest OSW pulling to a bracket reset in one of their first PPT debuts of a mixed versus format. You're going to be seeing Shark in a lot of grand finals very soon. I guarantee it.
Yeah. I mean, I know Shark kind of has a familiar name in the scene, but has come in recently just like becoming the next dark horse. Oh my goodness, what an impressive show. Taking second in Ziodyne, beating out a lot of big players, beating out Void, beating out Ringo, almost beating out OSW, taking 1 win in grand finals. What a performance from Shark there. Like, OSW is the champion, but like, I don't know. I think for Shark, this should still definitely be a win in his book. Oh my goodness.
Especially given what I've seen from Shark as well. Like, usually in some of the tournaments they've entered, they've usually gotten to those, winners semis, losers finals portions, and then run into a top 2 seed where they just can't quite push it over the edge. We saw that in winners semis. It looked to be the similar story with a 9-1 in OSW's favor, but cranked up the energy quite literally to 11 in grand finals, pulling off 15 wins off of someone who dropped only 2 prior tonight.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Oh my goodness. Just like a Shark comes out unsuspected and is just like ready to attack. Like, seriously. Living up to his namesake. Hopefully
that lifts up the OSW's expectations of Puyo Puyo Tetris in a grand final set. Truly one to remember. But as the dust has cleared, OSW, again, another guideline tournament first place will go to them. Fantastic stuff. But of course, given the play that we've seen tonight, especially from players like Shark, doesn't seem like that title of Guideline Guru could be safe for long.
No, not at all. And to think it was on PPT, which is like, one of OSW's strongest points.
I feel like prior to some of the events that we've had as of recent, the main people I thought that were threats for OSW were usually like Promo or Blarg were kind of the 2 first names that come to mind. And for the most part, I think they've both taken a much greater focus on a Tetrio, whereas OSW will still relentlessly enter almost all of the guideline tournaments they can.
Yeah. And
they haven't really found a common mainstay besides Jaden, who obviously running the stream can't really participate at the same time.
Can we get a quick shout out? Can we get a quick shout out to Jaden for coming up with this whole theming and these graphics? Like, it's crazy. The production went kind of crazy here. Especially
with the amount of work Jaden herself put into these graphics as well. Like these weren't I don't I mean, maybe they were commissioned. I don't think they were. I think a lot of this work specifically was Jaden. And
Yeah.
it looks fantastic, sounds stunning, and just another, like, this could go right on the PK stream, and I would not notice the difference.
Yeah.
It is that good of production level.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like we're seeing some really we're seeing some really stiff competition in the upper echelon of of Tetris. Been seeing a lot of names coming out of nowhere, taking it, like going toe to toe against like the big names. We've seen it. We saw it a lot last year. We're seeing it a lot this year. Like, and we're only 4 months into 2024, but like I expect that there's going to be a lot more stiff competition like this later down the line with the events coming up.
Yeah, I know we've got more events from PK coming next weekend, but if these are anything to say what our summer is going to look like, it is going to be a wild ride for both the Guideline scene and the Tetrio scene.
Indeed.
So,
yeah.
And I think that might wrap it up for us. Jaden, I don't know if you have any last words either for us to say or if you want to come on live, but however you want to wrap this wonderful event on, it's, yeah.
Don't have much to say. I guess. Well, then I guess that's gonna wrap it up.
So yeah, that'll. I guess that might be it from us. I don't know if we could raid into Xeno Tetris because they're going on to their
right. Yeah, that's currently live.
Their special April 20th edition. Not sure exactly how.
Xeno Tetris currently going on. That is a lot. That is a LAN in New York City.
Yeah, I think Xeno usually goes on like once every other week or some other very frequent basis. So if you're in that New York area, definitely take advantage of being able to go to those.
And with that, I think that's it from Davo and I here at Ziodyne. So thanks for tuning in, everyone, and have a good night.
Bye for now.
All right, looks like we're off.
Yep. Oh, and the set just ended between